Recorded in the pits of Detroit, Michigan. Your ass is listening to Radio Underground. Shit.
Radio Underground, episode 48. 2 more to 50. 2 more to our 1-year anniversary. And with me, as always, are my 2 cousins, Brian and Alan. Al, how's it going?
Great.
And Brian, how's it going?
Hey.
I gave you guys your own separate. Last time you guys did the Mothra thing, because
because we both ended. I was like, you first, me first, and
well, we also didn't have earphones, so it's nice to hear ourselves again.
Yeah,
Yes.
It'll be very helpful when the Discord guys come in.
Did you make coffee?
I did.
Yes.
That's why. I'm smelling coffee. I'm like, something smells delicious in
That's
here.
what my pee smells like.
Dude, it's not even a joke. My pee smells like coffee all the time.
Yeah, it's the Beatus.
All the time.
The Beatus.
It's like
we got to watch it.
Hey, fatty!
my wife will walk in and say, it smells like Starbucks in here. If I forget to flush the toilet? No, that's not a thing. I just made that whole thing up. Don't.
Yeah. Well, we are Radio Underground. You can find us on all social media. We're going to just put that out there from the beginning. So it's Radio Underground. Doesn't matter where you find us. We're the only thing that we don't have any imitators yet. We're not popular enough to have any.
We're going to beat this dead horse and ingrain it into you.
Damn,
Subscribe.
Subscribe, follow, like, share, worship, all of it. But we are from Michigan, and that's why we have a vested interest in seeing the Nordic god from Clemson beat Ohio State.
Destroy.
Yes.
It's going pretty well right now.
We want Thor's hammer to drop upon them.
Yes.
To crack those Buckeyes.
Go Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
Which is about the, like, he sounds like he should be in a frat.
Yeah.
Like, Trevor Lawrence.
The whitest name ever on the whitest man ever.
You ever hear him talk? His voice is pretty deep. And he's like, Trevor Lawrence, I'm 6'6". I'm like, yeah, you are. Yeah. You're the Nordic god, dude.
Yeah.
Now get out there and sling that pigskin.
Well, they're only down by 2 at the half. So
Sling it, boy.
Go Clemson. I think Clemson versus LSU will be a better game anyways.
Oh,
Think so?
for sure.
I think
sure.
so. Yeah. So that's what I'm going for too.
Yeah, for sure. I think offensively, I think it'll just be a lot better game.
Clemson's defense is underrated.
They are yeah, but I mean,
They play
you can't
ACC
knock
teams.
Ohio State's defense. They're fantastic.
No, yeah, I'm not.
So I mean, it would be a defensive game, but I mean, I want to see an all around, like, I want to see scoring. I want to see the whole thing. And I think Clemson, LSU.
I swear, if it's LSU and Clemson, I will guarantee 120 points scored in that game. No.
Yeah, that could very well.
I hope not, though.
No.
I want to see some defense.
I mean, there's some people that are like,
Yeah.
I want to see Joe Burrow go up against Ohio State, his former. I'm like,
Yeah. I want to see Justin Field versus Georgia. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
His former team.
Right.
So, whatever.
I'm too bitter to ever root for Ohio State.
That's the other thing. I
Me too.
can't. And people are like, oh, Big Ten, you got to. No, I don't. I don't have to root for Ohio
I
State.
used to, I used to do that because I wanted the Big Ten to look better, but I'm so bitter about Michigan and Ohio State now. I don't care.
Did Michigan State win their bowl
I
game?
don't know.
Yeah, 27.
And Penn State did also?
21. Oh, yeah. Last time I saw that was like 35 to like something.
Well, if Ohio
not very
State
good.
loses, it won't hurt me too much in the Big Ten because Michigan will beat Alabama. No. I don't know if anybody else. Iowa playing a bowl game?
Iowa, they were awesome yesterday.
See?
They were awesome.
We don't need Ohio State to win.
They were
The rest of the Big Ten will win.
I mean, they were good. Their offense, man. I don't
That's
know what
weird.
they were dialing up, man, but Kirk Ferentz's son is the OC.
Yeah.
He was dialing some shit up, man. They were scoring at will. I
They
think that kid threw like 5 touchdown passes or something like that.
The offensive powerhouse that is Iowa.
They were 49 to something.
Holy crap. What about Minnesota?
I didn't see that
I
one.
don't know if they played yet or not.
I didn't see it.
Either way, my point is Ohio State doesn't need to win because the Big Ten's doing okay as it is. And we don't expect Michigan to beat Alabama, do we?
No, I'm too bitter about Michigan being bad. I don't care. I just can't do it this year.
I've never rooted for the Buckeyes, and I never will.
I can't.
Even when my buddy Chuck was like, he's from Ohio. He's like, I always root for the Big Ten. I always root for Michigan. If Ohio State's not in it, I go, really? I always never root for Ohio.
I will root for the rest of the Big Ten.
Well, his name was Chuck.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck. Thanks for sending me to my grave with AIDS.
There it is.
I don't want to hear it.
Exactly.
Let's make fun of AIDS.
Yeah, well,
we
did
can
that.
now. I mean,
why not?
Why not?
it's more than 22.3 years old.
That's true. You can start making fun of it.
And it's not a specifically gay disease, as they thought back. So when it's not homophobic, it's funny. AIDS is funny. Sorry.
AIDS is funny.
Because I can get it just as much as anyone else.
Yeah.
So
everyone's got AIDS.
AIDS.
Why should someone be gay?
I haven't seen Team American forever.
I know.
Watch it.
It's so fantastic.
So hey, what's up?
Sorry, I'm just hitting the board a lot because we have headphones. We didn't for a
we
few
can actually
weeks.
hear stuff.
So we want to.
So I had to redo my drivers.
Yeah.
Basically, restart my computer, redo everything, and then it worked. So
Hey, can I tell you a video game thing I read today?
sure.
Alan will love this because him and his love of video games. But
Yeah, it's hard line.
have you ever heard of Hellblade 2?
I may have.
And how it looks really good on the Series X?
Oh yeah.
Is that part 2 to
It's
Hellblade
exclusive. Hellblade's only going to be on Xbox and PC.
Awesome.
No one else is getting it.
You don't get it, Pony.
No.
PlayStation. You don't.
No
get
one
it.
else gets it. Not even Switch probably wouldn't have it anyways, would they?
No.
But we got a good exclusive on our Xboxes now.
Finally.
It's happening.
I mean, Gears 5 was good.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
true.
good, but Hellblade is that single player over the shoulder that everyone wants to see.
It's got
kind of.
potential to be Game of the Year
Yeah.
when it comes out.
based on one walking trailer.
Well, I mean, the first one was very well received.
Well, it was probably the top 1 or 2 darkest video games I ever played.
I will say, this is just pure conjecture on my part. It's a front runner for Game of the Year when it comes out.
Already.
I have no facts to back that up, but it's exclusive, and that's important to me because Sony people don't get this one.
Yeah, they don't get it. You don't get it, Sony. Just us.
Us.
Well, they'll be like, "Well, I got it on my PC."
Damn it! I didn't think about that.
So, but whatever. You don't have a PC, liar. You got your PlayStation. That's all you got. Don't lie to me. But there was a thing going around. If we're going to stay on video games for a second,
Yeah.
if you had to recommend someone to play 5 video games to really get a feel of your taste, and then I put my 5. My 5 were Dark Souls, Skyrim, Gears of War, Witcher 3, and Borderlands 2. I like 2 shooters and then a bunch of dragons and wizards.
Yeah, Gears of War would be on mine after that. I liked Outer Worlds. I like games that are a little quirky. So like Fallout 4 had a little bit of the quirkiness to it, especially in the what do you call it, the wastelands and stuff. There's weird stuff going on. Outer Worlds is like that too, where it's just a little weirdness going on. I like games like that a little bit. So I guess the Fallout series or Outer Worlds would be on it. After that, I really don't know. I play Rocket League occasionally just because I'm bored, but I don't play it that well or often. I don't know if I could pick 5 games.
Yeah, well,
I don't play as much. That's not true. I played a little bit of the what's the new Star Wars Fallen Order?
Fallen Order, yeah.
And I know you got sick of it, but you said it could have been Patience also.
Yeah, it's definitely Patience. I didn't.
I liked it, but my son's been playing it because it's his game. So maybe something like that, but I don't know.
Is that the one he got for his birthday?
Sekiro. I'm a big Sekiro fan. I've never played it.
Never played it. I just know it's good.
Well, just so everybody out there in the world knows, I don't hate video games. I just don't know them.
Yeah.
Like, when these guys were young and new video games were coming out, and so they were young and wanted everything. And me, I was like busy, smoking, drinking, and
watching Captain
screwing chicks,
Kangaroo.
and and doing that stuff. I was already an adult, so when video games started getting super popular,
that's why.
And then I just didn't want to spend my money on video games.
Me and Mike fall into what they call the greatest generation of video game players.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
because we grew up with the top of the line system. We had the Nintendos and then the Genesis.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were the ones who came of age with the system.
We stormed the beach.
That's like my Neil is the same way. He's like he loves PlayStation. He says he loves PlayStation only the main reason the controller. He said it's he loves that controller. It's never changed. He loves it.
I hate it.
Yeah. The Xbox has a better control.
I think not just being a fanboy. I prefer the controller for the Xbox.
Now I don't know if he's actually ever tried to use one.
Well, if he likes it because it's very similar to what he's always used, then I understand that.
But he was actually considering, like he was looking at that, like I was telling you that Best Buy had that special on that Xbox whatever for $150 or whatever. He was like, well, he goes, I'll get it. He's like, but he's like, I've just always liked that controller. And
the thing is, I will say this. Actually, no, I won't say that. There was a time where I'd say if you got a PlayStation, you don't need an Xbox, but the Game Pass is pretty much the best deal in gaming.
It really is. It's like
PlayStation has better exclusives right now. There's no question, but the best deal, like if you start out right now, if someone just like, well, I only got a $150 or $200 to game right now, and just get me going, I would say get a Xbox One S digital. And then just get the Game Pass, and then you got access to 100 games. You don't even have to buy a game.
That's one without the disc drive, right?
Yeah,
no
correct.
optical drive in that
because you won't need the optical drive because you'll have the Game Pass. You cannot possibly play all the games that are on the list.
Because it's 100 games at a time, and they switch them up. There's no way to play every game. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's not Netflix for games, but it kind of is. It's not.
And the ones that stay are the ones that they put out. So anything that Xbox puts out from now on, whether it's the Gears of War or the Halos or the Hellblades, it's going to be on there and it's not leaving.
I heard a quick rumor, and I couldn't find anything else about it afterwards. But the rumor is, for Xbox at least, that Cyberpunk 2077 will be day one Game Pass.
I didn't hear that.
I could not find
big.
It might have been just something somebody dropped and said, "Oh, I'm going to make this up." And I haven't been able to find it ever since, but if that's the case, that'd be awesome.
Well, if Xbox is willing to give CD Projekt Red the check, they'll let them do it.
Just do it. We'll give it to them.
And then if it leads to more sales, because you still, if it's a third party, you still always got to buy the DLCs.
Yeah.
So if they suck you in, they're going to make money off that DLC purchase.
Exactly.
So
DLC is downloadable content, Alan.
Downloadable content.
Back to the Nordic God.
Yes.
Yeah. Is he still? Is he coming back on Ohio State?
I think it's halftime now, isn't it?
Okay, it is.
Probably.
It is halftime. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, they were. Dude, he's never lost a game in his college career.
That's
he's never lost a game. In fact, he's had the last 6 games he threw no picks and 20 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's what I mean. People, because they play in the ACC, and the ACC doesn't have anybody else. Mm-hmm. It's a weak conference, and everybody's like, "Oh, they play in the ACC. That's why it looks so good." I don't know, man. I think they're legit.
Yeah, they are. Look what they did to Alabama in the national championship last year.
Was it 44-16?
So anybody who's a doubter can just shut up, because Alabama should have blown them out if they never play anybody and they're not the real deal.
Yeah.
I mean, Alabama got their bungholes blew out. I watched that whole game.
They got gaped.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, he ran 67 yards. Trevor Lawrence.
See, the thing is here, we can't watch the game because I don't have any TV.
I'll just keep. It's still halftime. I'll just do updates on the phone.
But yeah, I hate Ohio State. I'm too bitter. I used to do the whole thing where I'd root for the Big Ten just to do it. So it would bring us up, but I'm so bitter about Michigan just not being in that rivalry anymore. I
did that too, except for Ohio State. I never wanted them to ever win. I never did.
I rooted for them when they played Miami that time.
Yeah, not a Miami fan.
Yeah, I hated Miami.
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? I actually did. That was the only time I think I rooted for.
When McGahee's knee.
Yeah, when his knee went completely sideways and backwards or something at the same time. And then he still got drafted first round by the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
They still drafted him. Like,
yeah,
dude, he's not playing this year.
Well, I think
or ever,
he ended
maybe.
He squatted
He
like
ended up
600
playing, though.
pounds or something to prove that his knee was okay.
Yeah, right.
McGahee was fine by the beginning of the season.
I know. And they were
was
like,
insane.
but it was funny. They were like, nobody like, but everybody just thought, no, he's never, and he was like ready to go. I'm like, holy crap.
To me, it's like, it's almost like I became like a different person at a certain age. I was so into sports when I was young. I talked about it on here before. I'm almost ashamed at how much I would let it affect my mood. Like the Lions, remember when Dan Marino beat the Lions at, there was that, it was like not for a playoff, but there was a playoff. Like they had a chance to go to a playoff, and then they played Miami, and Dan Marino just kicked the shit out of the Lions. I was so upset that I didn't sleep. Like, it drove me nuts. And then Rodney Pete, when he was on the Eagles, he beat us like 58 to 30.
Yeah.
And I remember that time I was just so in shock and numb. I used to, sports used to control my life. I fucking was obsessed with sports.
I will check Lions scores occasionally, but I have not watched a game. I watched part of the Thanksgiving game, but I have not watched more than one quarter of a game all year.
Then I found like downloadable porn and
Video games.
I watch every game, man. I don't like let it. I don't. I guess
I really don't care now.
I mean, it's just
it's
like,
the thing. Yeah, just don't care.
I don't. I watch.
I still enjoy it. I just don't. No.
I watch every game. I don't let it. In fact, I mean, next year I'm looking at potentially getting some season tickets.
Buy me one.
Like
I'm considering getting them.
Like
So.
when I'm in a MMA. I like watch. That's one I watch more than any of the other sports. And I was kind of. I always root for Colby Covington. And he got beat up and got his face bashed in.
Yeah.
And like I remember, if that was me, like even 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would have been so mad. I'm like, I don't know, slept. That's how far I've come with sports. I just accept it. Well, it's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
Usman's the better man. Whatever.
It
I
happens.
can deal with it. Like, but when I was young, I'd be like punching the walls. I punched a hole in the wall in the bathroom. If you look at by the light, when there was a bunch of bad calls when the Pistons were playing the Spurs.
Oh my God!
And there was,
when we should have won our second in a row, you mean?
And they gave both Wallace's, Ben and Rashid, so many bullshit fouls that Tayshaun had to try to guard fucking Duncan.
Yeah,
Duncan.
And
Yeah,
I was so mad, and I punched that wall in there.
yeah.
It's still there to this day.
I didn't. I ain't fixing it.
And no, Larry Brown wouldn't let them foul Robert Horry. They just kept letting him score threes at will.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, let him foul him. Well, we didn't want to get in foul trouble. Well, he just scored 5 3-pointers.
That was bad.
Big shot Bob.
I'm like, what the?
Big shot Bob fucked us up the ass.
Oh my God.
That happens. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, because we totally that was ours to have. That was another championship. That was ours to have.
Yeah, and they fucking blew it. That was really depressing because that Pistons team, I thought like the cool thing about because that series went 7. I'm like, cool. We got 2 like true teams. There's no superstar like big name guy.
Right.
Just solid teams top to bottom. I go, we're gonna have a rivalry for years with these guys, and then the Pistons just faded.
Yep.
So what happened?
Well, I mean, Larry Brown did his thing. I'm leaving. Like he always does everywhere he goes.
Cleveland Brown. That's what Terry Foster called him. Oh, you mean Cleveland Brown? Fuck Cleveland Brown. Well, Terry didn't say that because he was on.
Yeah.
But still. Yeah, I don't know.
Terry
man.
Foster. Yeah.
Terry Foster. I met him.
T-Foss.
Actually, we all did. Well, me, you,
Yeah.
and it was Bobby and Frank. We went the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
And we went down there.
Renaissance Center.
And that was the top 5 worst hangovers I ever had. We were doing Jaeger bombs. That was damn near killed me.
Dwayne, like, came down and got us and brought us in there, because he was working there. And then his buddy's like, dude, who's the dude with the beer and the long hair drinking at the martini bar with you guys? I was sitting there drinking dirty martinis. He's like, who the fuck is that guy? I had that was my hair. My beard was really big, and he's like,
Yeah, your shit was rocking.
that
That drive home,
Oh my
You drove
God.
us home, and it was a sleet storm, and we were all drunk, and you were like, "Fuck, I'll do it. I've been doing it longer than you guys." And we were like, and my Thunderbird was bad on any kind of inclement weather.
dude, we were just like,
I was like, "Oh my God, we're gonna crash." It was so horrible.
He told me about that a couple days
I
later.
never crashed. I've never like crashed like driving, like being aware of what I'm doing, even drunk. I've never crashed. No.
I know, but I just thought we were going to.
But I can honestly say
You got mad at Frank.
oh, dude,
He got under your skin, as he does to many people.
no.
And you were like, you exploded on him while you're driving. And Frank's just trying to stay calm. He's like, not because the fight, he didn't want to go. He goes, Al, please watch the road. You can ream me out when we get back.
That's great.
Yeah, and Al was doing like the dad thing, pointing at the back of the car.
While driving in a sleet storm in February or
Don't
January.
make me pull over.
And I was like, Al, he has that same effect on me, but please let's get home alive.
Frank wouldn't even argue. He's like, "No, you're totally right, Alan. That's it." He like conceded immediately.
Conceded an argument for once in his life because he just wanted to live.
Oh man.
Yeah, but we were. It was funny how many people from like high school and like, I hadn't seen. It was one of those things where you haven't seen people in 20, 30 years, and they were just there.
Yeah.
Some people, I was a kid the last time I saw them. I'm like, holy shit, how you doing? It was weird.
Yeah, none of us had any business trying to drive home that night.
No, that was pre-Uber though, so cab would have been a fortune.
Well, I went back down there another day for that, and they had like the old Continental lanes.
Oh, they did have the shuttles.
They had the shuttles,
Yeah.
and it was like $3.
That's it?
Yeah, it was like $3, and you could go down there.
Holy crap.
Al, have you heard of Weed Eater, the band?
That sounds familiar, but I don't know if I've ever heard their music.
Phil wants you to know who Weed Eater is.
I will.
He'll have to check it out.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll have to
sounds
check that
interesting.
out.
Yeah, we'll get the Weed Eater thing.
I know
going.
there was a band here called Bowl Scraper.
Oh, a bull scraper.
Yeah, I met the like one of the dudes in the band years ago. He was like a bass player or something, but he's kind of a tool. But I never really caught their band though.
I never.
Wow, Weed Eater's been around for a long time.
Yeah, was that part of that like southern sludge rock, like
Oh, okay.
kind of along the lines that they're more. Angelo Bruno. Hey, how's it going, Angelo? Brian, you remember when
hey, AJ.
you were fed weed with crack in it?
Yeah, I told that story before.
Yep, he told that story.
Yeah, someone didn't tell me, and it was laced, and I smoked a blunt that had crack in it.
And you're like,
I remember one time I smoked crack and found out it had crack in it.
So,
I smoked crack.
I'm the only person to ever accidentally smoke crack. Not really, but the only person I know.
I accidentally smoked heroin.
Oh, hi, AJ.
Yeah.
Or I think it was AJ's mom who used to call him A-Gay.
A-gay?
I believe that's what her nickname was because he like, I don't know, Broadway tunes or something when he was a kid.
Oh, this is the guy?
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
He's a long time first time.
Oh, okay.
All
Oh, wait,
right.
I've seen him like
Yeah,
our
he posts
stuff.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Angelo J.
Yeah. But that's kind of like my nickname that Jay Harris gave me, M. Gay.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, and when you said that a few weeks ago, I brought that up because I was like, those are like the same names.
Oh, he corrected you. He says Gay Jay, Brian.
Gay J, yes, A Gay J, whatever.
So A.B.
6'1", whatever the saying is.
So Phil says the album Good Luck and Godspeed.
Good luck and Godspeed.
Yeah.
I think their best album is Goliathan. I just read that because that's their most recent album. I have no idea what it sounds like.
Yeah, the type of stuff Phil listens to is like sludgier than even like Crowbar.
Oh, Good Luck and Godspeed's relatively new.
Speaking of Jay, he sent me a message yesterday. It kind of threw me off. Said, I just want to say you're the most legit dude I've ever known, and thank you.
You are legit and not Hane.
I'm like,
New.
and I'm like, no more of these gay moments, please.
What? That's like, is he leaving a note? What's going on?
Dude, the first thing I was like, you're not offing yourself tonight, are you? Right? You're still planning on like 50. You're gonna live till.
Yeah. We don't need any Remington shells in your throat.
that's-
No.
yeah.
We don't need any
We
more
don't
of
need
that.
that.
Yeah. And
Don't do it.
for the people on here who don't know Jay has told me he's one of my closest friends, but he's told me for years that his life is so miserable that if he survives till he's 50, he's blowing his brains out the back of his skull. So
Well,
That sounds
the
like
scary
Jay.
thing with Jay is I absolutely believe him.
fuck yeah.
Oh, that's what I was going to
But
do.
see, I don't think it's going to happen now because his old man did it. He's in his opinion now. His old man one-upped him.
So he can't do the same thing.
So he feels like because his old man like found out he had cirrhosis and had a stroke and he was dying, and so he went and hung himself in the garage, and he's like, that son of a bitch one up me. So now
That's
he's
terrible.
like that John Harris always has done that to me. So now I think he's just gonna let something take him. Now.
What about a swan dive off the Rensen?
I just think suicide period now for him, it might not be like in his cards anymore. I think he might just be like, yeah, fuck it, because because his hatred for the old
he doesn't
man.
want to be like his dad.
His hatred for right, exactly.
Yeah.
That
I
would
gotta be the opposite of him. I got to live longer.
that would be like
Yeah.
like he's already like opposited his dad by being like a great dad to his
Yeah.
kids.
By being a good person, he's a total opposite
Yeah,
of his
right.
own father.
Like by being in his kids' lives every day and doing things with his kids his whole life and not telling them, yeah, kid, I'll come take you fishing, and leave him sitting there waiting all day, a whole weekend, a month without a call back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Angela said he's going to have to one up the suicide by making it more spectacular. That's why I'm talking about the swan dive.
Yeah.
I think there's a case where he's got to do the exact opposite. So no suicide, living his best life would be.
Now, I won't say who it was because it was funny, but they were in a down moment. Because I won't say who it was, but when they said it, we both started dying laughing. He goes, he was being dead serious. He goes, I'd have killed myself by now, but I'm such a pussy. And we both started laughing. And I was like, I won't tell you who it is, but it was.
Was that me?
No.
Okay. I don't know who. I know who it is though.
I don't know. Are you suicidal? No, that you ever have.
No. I don't. Do I know this person you're talking about?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. You do.
Okay.
I'll tell you after the show.
Yeah, tell us after the show.
But yeah, and I was like, whoa.
No, I didn't think you were talking about me. I just thought I was wondering if I knew the person.
I'm the opposite. I'm anxious. I'm horrified at the thought of death.
Yeah.
I want to live forever.
Yeah.
That's why I'm 300 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm really working at it, aren't I?
Yeah. Healthy. Well, you lost weight recently, right?
I'm down to two. Oh, I got down to 282. Now I'm 285. So
Yeah, the holidays and stuff. Probably eat a little bit more. You know how it is.
I haven't drank alcohol in a month.
Yeah, even I didn't bring any with me tonight. I was like, I don't feel like being the only one drinking.
I think I'm going to go back to it because I'm really bored.
That's a good reason.
It helps.
Yeah, well, the thing is like, well, I didn't do it every day. I just was sick every Sunday. I mean, come on, I can deal with a Sunday feeling like shit. It's not that bad.
See, that's the thing. Sunday would already make me feel
Somebody
like
remove
shit.
their own comment.
I shouldn't say that.
I didn't get to see it.
I shouldn't say that.
Someone remove their own comment.
See, to me,
Don't do that.
I guess that's why I don't want to get drunk on Saturdays, because then Sunday I'll feel like shit. It's like, why would you want to feel like shit on Sunday? Because you already do, because everybody
True.
feels like shit on Sunday because the next day you usually have to go back to work.
Yeah, I do have now I don't have at all in any way clinical depression, but all my life Sundays I'm depressed because I have
It's
to go
the
to back to
worst.
work or school. I'm like I said, it's not bad. Like, oh, I don't want to live it. Just I can't enjoy Sunday because I know I got to go to fucking work or
Yeah.
school or whatever. I hate it. Fucking hate Sundays.
See,
Why didn't you build it on Saturday, God? Better. It'd be way better. Because like, hey, you built there, that'd be the better, for the party or whatever.
Yeah.
know.
Oh man. Dude, I read something and I thought it was insanely stupid, and I hate this bitch anyways. But do you know who Sharon Osbourne is?
Yeah.
Oh God!
Did you hear what
Oh,
she
yeah.
said? So apparently, one of their houses a couple years ago, Ozzy, who's her husband, Ozzy Osbourne, you may have heard of him.
Yeah.
He left
Sounds familiar.
he left a candle burning in the house, and the house caught on fire. And everybody got out. Her, Ozzy, the dogs, her assistant. But she made her assistant go back in to get some paintings or something into the fire. Like she forced him to go back in, so he did. Which I'd been like, "Fuck you, bitch! I'm not going back in." But this guy did, And he went back,
punched her in her fucking old ugly face.
and he came back out with some of the stuff, and they started giving him oxygen because he was breathing in smoke, as you do in a fire type scenario. And she ripped the oxygen mask off his face and put it on the dog's face. And then he didn't think it was funny, and because he didn't have a good sense of humor about it, she fired him. And this isn't from the guy. This is from her own lips.
She's so
This
stupid.
story.
I can't
So
stand
she's
that
admitting
woman.
she did this. To
She told
person.
this story on a show like it's a nice little anecdote. It just makes you look like a total cunt.
Yeah, that is.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, she.
He didn't have a good sense of humor. She's like, oh, you don't think that's funny? Maybe you'll think this is funny. You're fired. And that's
Wow.
exactly what she said.
What a fucking quim.
I don't like her anyways.
Never have.
The next time I bomb a joke and you guys don't laugh, get out. Every now and then I'll say something that I think's profound, and then I don't hear any response from anyone. I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna go for.
Well, we'll be leaving a whole lot then.
Yeah. In fact, we can't be here anymore at all. Then you bomb every fucking time you open your mouth. Yeah, I don't. She seems like a bitch, so that's not surprising to me.
Nah.
It's
At
not
all.
surprising, but the fact that she's so out of touch with like real life, like a lot of these celebrities are. She's like, oh, he didn't think it was funny, so I fired him. And she told the story like it's just a nice little anecdote, and haha, it's kind of humorous, and it's fucking evil.
Yeah.
You dumb bitch.
Yeah, she's a fucking idiot.
Oh,
So
man.
the thing, when I tell a joke or I say something that it either people don't like it or they don't think it's funny or they're offended, I don't think like there's something wrong with them. I'm like, all right, I got to work on what I'm doing.
Gotta work on my
here.
delivery.
I got to get a little better at this.
My timing's a little bit off.
Yeah, I'm throwing it in at the wrong time. I said the wrong thing around the wrong person. Okay, you got to read your crowd.
And the bad thing is that a lot of people don't have the same sense of humor as us. Like
No.
there's a lot of dark things that
Oh,
we think
yes.
are funny.
oh
Not
God.
like super dark stuff,
No.
but you know.
Oh my god.
And
or people read you wrong.
you're like, this guy's weird.
Or they'll. I've had people like ask a question about someone that, and it's like way off basis. That dude a total of whatever. I'm like, no. Why? What? Well, he was talking about like. So I think about like, dude, there's just a sea of shit on here that I've said that's just people must think I'm a lunatic.
It's we have always had some kind of a little bit of a darker sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
Not like evil.
Oh, yeah.
But there's things that we find funny that nobody else thinks is funny.
Oh my god, I find so much stuff funny that I
Dude.
know people wouldn't. I'm like, dude, I find myself laughing at things on TV, and I'm like, oh man, especially nowadays, I'm like, oh god, people are just like, if they knew I was laughing at this, you know,
Yeah.
or are they secretly laughing at home too?
Well,
I'm in
They
a,
just don't want to admit it.
I'm in
Of course they're laughing.
I'm in a Facebook group that's like that. It's like total shit posting stuff, and the stuff people post, including myself, but mostly other people, is funny to us. But like, I'll read it. I'll be on Facebook, like, and I think it's the funniest stuff ever, and I'll try to explain it to my wife, and she just looks at me horrified. She's like, "Why do you think that's funny?"
yeah.
And I had you as a
Well, you just need to hear it, honey.
you were in it for a minute, I think, Mike. I don't think you're in it, but
Yeah.
the church.
Yeah, I was in a couple different ones, and I got rid of them because it was so much on my feed.
It was so much. Yeah. It used to be the Church of Butts. Now it's called the Church of Marty because Marty passed.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Who?
One of the guys from our group. I'll tell you out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's it's like you can't. But that's the thing. You laugh at it and you try to explain to somebody else what you're reading and why you think it's funny, or show it to them, and they think you're a psychopath.
Yeah,
But really, it's just a dark sense of humor. You can't take things too seriously, people.
Yeah, I posted something. I don't even remember what it was, but my younger sister's like, "You got to take that down." I'm like, "Why?" That's over the top. And for me, it was like not even mid grade.
Right.
like that's ridiculous. I'm like, it's not ridiculous. I go, who would be offended by this? She's like, well, she listed the people like who we know that so and so had this happen. So and so, like,
Oh
well, okay, but
they suck.
my number one joke is heart attack jokes.
Yeah.
And what is the most likely scenario of my death?
Yeah. Totally heart attack.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Right.
It's funny.
Right.
If I have a heart attack here, You'll be traumatized, but I'm telling you, laugh about it later.
Yeah.
You have my permission.
Well, yeah, because we'll be like, he totally called it.
Remember when I told you I was gonna do that?
Yeah.
that was gonna happen to me.
Heart attacks suck, but it's like if you call
Just don't laugh about it in front of my mom.
Oh,
No,
But other than that,
Right.
But it's.
but other than that, I don't give a shit.
I'm the same way because I'll see something in one of these groups. I'm like, I think it's funny, and I'm like, I'm going to share it. I'm going to think, wait, I can't just share it to my regular feed though, because people are going to think I'm fucking nuts or that I'm sick in the head. So I have to make sure I'm posting it to the right groups. I'm like, this group will find this funny, and this group will. This group, no, these are normal people. I can't do that. They'll think I'm crazy. Not that mom's going to see it, but well, she might.
That's really like always my concern is like mom will see things and think her little angel is
Evil.
a sick
Dude,
bastard.
Mom knows.
I didn't raise that kid. Yeah, but just like some of the humor that I have, I mean, oh my God, mom doesn't know about some of that. I mean, mom knows my antics and stuff, but she doesn't.
No,
There's a lot of things that mom don't know.
That's why I can tell certain things about my life, because my wife and my mom will not listen to this ever.
Right.
Ever. No offense to us. They love us, but they don't fucking care. They're not going to listen to this.
Well,
Right.
our one aunt tried to turn us into my mom.
Yeah.
She found us on YouTube and then said, listen to the way they're talking. My mom's like, yeah, that's how they are.
No, yeah. That's what I said. My mom's...
That's kind of how that's the way they are, Joyce. They're men. They're not...
Oh, you said her name.
Oh, you used her name.
You outed her.
You outed her.
But when I told my mom about that, she's like...
She's listening now anyway.
Yeah. When I told my mom about that whole thing, she's like, why? We know how you guys are. We know how you talk. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. My mom just doesn't want me to talk that way around her.
right.
No, and I try not to swear or anything around my mom, but my mom knows our sense of humor is sarcastic, a little dark sometimes, because Craig's the same way. Mm-hmm. Maybe not as dark, but I don't know. That looks like a long message.
Yeah. Angelo says, one time I made a joke about a news story where a guy was making old people fight each other at a nursing home.
Oh, yeah.
I said I'd bet my money on the people with the Parkinson's patients because they would be all over the place. Nobody laughed.
Oh, I would have.
And they looked at me with disgust.
Dude, yeah, because you have to
I
be
don't
able
care
to
who you are. That's a funny joke. Yes, it is a funny joke.
I agree.
you have to be able to read people, and it's taken a long time, but most of the time I can figure out what jokes are going to work with what people. But there's some times where you know that your jokes are never going to work with some people. They're not going to get it.
I'm not going to be.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be telling AIDS jokes around if when we
Magic
have
Johnson.
we have gay family members. I would not talk that way around them just in case. Even though the ones we know wouldn't care, just in case I wouldn't.
Yeah, I just I don't care. I would talk about AIDS around Magic Johnson. I'd be like, does we get Irvin?
Well, he ain't going to die from it anyway.
No, he'll probably
No.
just kick my
He's
ass.
still alive.
Yeah.
He got it 91 or something.
Yeah, like 92, I think.
Something
91,
like
92.
that.
91, you're right, 91.
He's still alive. He ain't dead.
And AIDS itself isn't funny. The disease is terrible.
Yeah.
Cancer is not funny.
Thanks for sending me to my grave with AIDS.
But,
AIDS is funny when you. I love having my drop of myself.
I can't,
It's not egotistical.
and I can't think of the exact joke, but Ricky Gervais made a concentration camp joke, and he told on one of the shows, and he thought it was when he told the joke. It wasn't about a concentration camp, but it was about somebody who had survived one and something. And the punchline was something like, "Well, I guess you had to be there." But the whole joke, I laughed my ass off at it, and he did too, and so did Jerry Seinfeld. But they're like, "See, that joke won't play certain places, though."
Right. Right.
But it was a good
yeah,
joke.
I mean, like that's like
I thought it was
I've
great.
known people over the years that like, they'll tell like kind of racist type jokes, but like nothing real bad, but I know the person. I know like okay, it's
You know
just
where they're coming from.
it's really just a joke.
Yeah.
Where people say racist stuff and try to sound like they're being funny, but really they're just showing their true colors.
Like me. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Like when I get going.
You got to pick your time.
We've got to preserve our culture.
It's tough, especially if you're going into a new workplace and stuff. It takes you a while. I had a guy there was one guy I worked with who I knew no matter what, as long as I worked with this guy, he wasn't going to get my humor. I knew right off the bat for 2 days. I'm like, that guy will never get me. There's another guy who actually was more of a church going type guy, but I told a joke and he kind of like laughed uncomfortably, but like he didn't know for sure if that was my humor or not. And over the next few weeks, he started to get me a little bit. And the church-going guy got my humor more than the other guy did. And he thought some of the shit was hilarious, but the other guy was like just this buffoon, this asshole guy. And I thought for sure, hey, me and that guy are going to get along. Nah. Church-going guy and me. Because he only went to church because of his wife, I think. But whatever.
Or you get some people, it's just part of their life, kind of like... It's like they go there to decompress. Like they don't go to a bar; they go to church.
Yeah, and that could have been it. Yeah, you know. It was something he was raised in, and he stuck with it.
I remember this one guy. His name was Mike, and he was a total like stoner. Like he lived out in Ann Arbor, and like he was in psychedelic bands and everything. And he said, "You work." I won't say the name of my company, but he's like, "You work over there?" He goes, "You got a lot of religious folks there." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "That's cool." He goes, "Everybody's got to get high off something, man." And he always viewed like church. They go to church to get high. I did it like with chemicals, but they go to church. Yeah, I go. Yeah,
everybody's got to get high off something.
Yeah,
like, everybody's got to get high.
If it makes you feel better, why not?
Yeah, and if it makes you feel good, go to church. Have fun, man. If it makes you good, it makes you feel good to drink. Don't do that too, or smoke weed. Whatever.
Do both.
Do it all.
Drink and go to church.
Try to do all of it. Give it all a go. Might work. That's the combo you need: church, beer, weed. You need a little bit of all of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Of course, I've only done the beer, not the other two.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't know from experience at all. We were talking about the sense of humor.
Yeah,
I've told the story on here, but in case someone didn't listen to episode 12 or whatever I talked about it, one of the funniest things was when Frank told me he had another heart attack. And he was telling me it, and he was laughing so hard he couldn't tell me the story because he already had a heart attack on my couch. That's one story. I've told that story. But this was the second one. It was a cardiac incident, not a heart attack.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And he was behind a TV installing someone's cable, and he just woke up on a gurney. He didn't know what he had a massive palpitation. Anyways, we were dying laughing because we both got, health issues.
Yeah.
And Bobby was with us, and Bobby's a real, emotional guy, and he's like, "It's not fucking funny." He was like, "It's not funny."
Yeah.
We were dying laughing.
Oh man.
Well, you got to go back to like the super fans, dude, from Saturday Night Live, the Bears fans that they had 3 and 4 heart attacks in a skit
every episode. Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to be like, how many of those you had this week, George?
That actually makes me think of something that happened tonight because we had my wife's dad's side Christmas tonight instead of actual Christmas, and I had to follow her grandpa home to get something from his house. He had something that we had to take home, and we get there, and you walk into the front door of his house. It's not his house. He rents the upper part of the house. As soon as you walk in, you have to go up these steps, and they're steep, and there's no joke, 23 steps. There's so many steps to get up to the top of this old house. He's like, "Oh, watch out for the steps." He's like, "Man, I have trouble with them." We get all the way up that. I'm thinking, how's this old dude do these steps every day? I mean, I'm younger. I can do it. By the time we got to the top, he's like up them, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm trying to pretend like I'm not out of breath.
Yeah.
Because I'm 40 and he's like, no joke, 85, and he took him way better than I could. I was like. He's like, he's like, all right, let me get him. I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
I did not know the story of Frank though in the behind the TV. Yeah, he was installing somebody's cable.
Yeah, and then he woke up on a stretcher.
He had a cardiac episode.
Incident.
It was
did they call it an incident? They called mine an episode.
I think a cardiac. Yeah, it's probably an episode.
Yeah,
but anyway, he had a massive palpitation that made him pass out.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, fuck,
Oh,
man,
man,
I've never
that's-
had that happen, Frank.
That's terrible.
I have palpitations all the time, but in fact, I'm having them tonight.
After we're done laughing, now we're gonna act like, oh, that's terrible. Act like we.
No, I'm still laughing.
I mean, we obviously we care. We all love Frank.
yeah, we love you,
But
man.
that's a bad thing about us.
It's a running joke.
We always laugh, but that's the thing. We always laugh at stuff first and then check to see if everybody's okay.
Yeah.
I remember, and I don't remember. I think it was your sister's graduation party, Kate's.
Yeah.
An Angel walked through the screen door.
Oh my God.
Was it Angel or was it Brad?
No, what happened was Angel walked into it and bounced off of it.
Yeah,
And then Brad walked through it.
Yes.
and instead of checking, and he fell too, didn't he? He walked through and he fell.
Yeah, and Angel and Brad were they were people that partied way too hard.
But
Yeah.
but we didn't check on them first. We laughed, and then we checked on them.
Then my dad, when you this, I don't know if it was the same party, but you fell like because those we had those cheap like lawn chairs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And they would collapse, and it happened to me. It happened to a lot of people, especially those of us north of 240, 250.
Well, the one I was sitting in though was one of the higher back Adirondack style, and the back legs slipped off your deck a little bit.
And then when it fell and broke, Brian held his food and didn't spill it. He goes, Brian didn't spill any of his food. He made sure to save it.
I did. I saved I fell. The chair fell and collapsed and everything, and I was on the ground. But my food, I kept that thing. I was like a waitress at a diner, busy diner. I'm like, no.
My dad was dying laughing at that.
That was funny as thing. Fat guy holding his food still.
I didn't
At
lose.
at the time, I don't know if you were that.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Well, let's see. Kate graduated the year after.
You might
I
have been
was-
about 230 or something.
I don't know if I was even that big yet. I was definitely 2, but I was portly.
Yeah,
No, I was probably about 230. It was the end of high school. Yeah, I was big.
I don't remember that.
I had a really cool mustache. No, I didn't. I had a terrible mustache.
Oh yeah.
It was just a mustache and nothing on the chin. It was like as thin as can be, not filled.
I know there's a picture of me and my two sisters, and for some reason, with my mustache, I look Mexican. and somebody posted Miguel Angel just as.
There's pretty much most guys when they grow a mustache, they look Mexican.
Yeah.
If it's just, dude, unless you're Tom Selleck or Burt Reynolds, I mean, you
Yeah.
pretty much just look
Or
Mexican.
you're 100% Swedish.
Yeah, right. But if it's dark, yeah.
But if you're 17 or 18, you
Yeah.
have a terrible mustache no matter what.
Yeah.
But I did. I look like I was a hitman for Los Serenos or something.
Well, like when I remember flying down to Fort Lauderdale to meet Rachel, and she was already down there, and she drove by me like 4 times in her grandma's car, and I didn't know what her grandma's car looked like. It's because I shaved my beard, and all I had was a mustache, so I looked like Glenn Fry from the Eagles, 1974. And didn't realize it, and she's like driving around, and I'm calling her. I go, where are you? She's like, I've been driving around. I don't see you. I go, what the fuck are you driving? She tells me, and I'm like, you're right there. You're pulling up right now. She goes, where are you? I'm like, looking right at you. And she's like, what? I go, oh, I shaved my beard. And she's like, oh my God, that's you.
Oh, that's so creepy.
And I had like a Fu Manchu going.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The mustache there's so few men that can pull it off.
Yeah.
It's almost not worth it.
Yeah, like there's dudes that just like grow like a Fu Manchu or just a mustache, and it looks like badass on them. But it's so many that don't. Just stop. Don't do it.
Don't do it. It ain't worth it.
Don't. I mean, yeah.
It's not, if you, like my son, his keeps growing in, and I'm like, just shave that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
No, like
look
this
good,
dude,
man.
like this guy Dan that I know, Dan Smith. It's a generic name, so you'll never know which Dan Smith I'm talking
Dan
about.
Smith, yeah. You
But
got him figured out.
he's got dude, his is literally almost an inch wide on his face. So it's
cow.
like, it's beautiful. It's glorious.
It is.
Fantastic.
The guy, yeah, it's fantastic. The guy has been growing that thing since he was the only person I knew that was still in high school and 6th year in high school.
Oh, God.
because of the way he failed school or something, they had to let him go another year. So he was like 20 years old and he was still in high school finishing up, but he graduated.
where all the 1990s Caterpillar mustaches go.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
That's exactly what Donovan has going on right now. It's like, I'm like, shave. Well, actually, a lot of times she's like, should I shave? I'm like, no, we'll let it grow in because I want to see what it's going to look like after, like a week or two.
Yeah.
And it's always the same thing. No, you need to shave that shit. You're not ready yet.
No, the look is when in the 90s it was the mustache, the herringbone, and then the IOU T-shirt.
Oh, God.
I mean, sweatshirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Z Cavarici pants.
Oh, God. Yes.
90s.
Ugh.
That was so bad.
Man, the 90s sucked.
I had the hard.
Well, the beginning
For
parts.
fashion.
Yeah, the beginning parts of it. I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah, grunge and everything. That's pretty cool.
Once like kind of that grunge era and alternative era broke through, it was all right. But there was still just like that little bit of the beginning of the 90s where it was really kind of the 80s falling into the 90s.
Yeah,
it was bad.
God, awful.
Yeah,
What were we thinking?
big baggy Z Cavaricis, tight at the bottom.
Used jeans. Remember
Get
those?
used.
Get used.
Hey,
IOU.
What was that store that sold them at Macomb Mall that we'd get all that shit?
I didn't buy any of it, so I don't know.
Oh,
I bought an IOU shirt, and I thought it was the shit.
wait. It wasn't.
Where was it at in the mall?
Wasn't American Eagle. It was
No.
Like, what was it located near?
Jinko. Hey,
Jinko jeans?
Hillbilly Havoc is here.
Oh.
What's up, Jeff? I turn the Discord on in about 10 minutes if you want in.
All I remember is Harmony House.
No. I can't remember what it's called now, man. Oh my God, I could see it.
What was the place called?
I could
That's
see
where
it.
You got all the shit that was in style at the time.
Yeah, but where in the mall was it located? That would help me.
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
Was it... Well, you know where things are.
Across from the jewelry kiosk.
Dude, there was-
I don't know.
Across from the pina colada stand.
It was not near the arcade. I remember that.
Okay, that helps. Was it past the Little Caesars?
Past?
Around the corner?
No.
I don't remember what it was anyways. I'm just asking questions. I have no idea what the answer is.
By KB Toys.
Man,
Oh, that's on the other side of the mall. It's over by where, yeah.
And then the GNC.
GNC's there. Crap. Man, I have no clue.
Well, yeah, that's where I bought it.
I never had enough money to buy those things. So I have no idea.
I didn't either. Well, my parents didn't, but I had my ace in the hole was my two uncles that were bachelors like me.
Yeah.
So I could just talk them into anything.
If I had this $50, I could do,
I remember Trace bought me Air Jordans.
Oh, God.
And my family screamed at me because they knew he was a sucker and he would do whatever I asked. And I said, well, I really need these shoes. And then the price was like $130 in 1987.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
9 or 10 years old. Seriously, it was like 1990 or 1989. And he paid for that. And they're, you had him buy you those shoes. Take them back. I'm like, no. And I'm like holding them.
Adjusted for inflation, those shoes are about $495.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then kids were surrounding me at school to see them because I was the only person that had them.
Wow.
Because a lot of the kids at our school were poor.
Yeah.
So, and I kind of was, but my uncle wasn't.
Yeah.
So I had these Jordans.
Your single uncle that worked. Oh,
Yeah,
that's great.
So then he got me the Reebok pumps. I got yelled at for that.
What? Those weren't as expensive as that.
They were close, though. They were about 100.
That's true.
I had the Reebok pumps. They were the purple ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Then, I don't know. Then when I got about 15, I didn't care about anything designer whatsoever.
That's
Well, yeah, isn't it true now? Do you still wear Velcro shoes?
Okay.
Yeah, right on.
Cheap Velcro.
I told you.
Wait, no, I don't. These aren't my Velcro.
Those
my
are
Velcro-
slip-ons.
I have Velcro in there, though.
Yeah.
You know those slip-ons you have on right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Craig had this pair of they look like geriatric shoes
That's what
that he
I
was
have.
wearing, and I'm like,
Yeah, but Craig's are white.
I go, those look like a Michael pair of shoes, man. And he's like, yeah.
I actually have shoes that I tie on today. Usually they're slip-on shoes.
It has nothing to do with my beer gut that gets in the way of tying my shoes.
It's horrible, man. Like,
I'm good to go. After
like
that.
the only spot I can tie my shoes comfortably is my bed because it sits higher. And but I still have to pull my leg up onto my other leg, across my leg, and then lean back a little bit while I'm tying my shoes. Otherwise, I'm out of breath when I'm done.
Well, let's put it this
This
way:
is so sad to admit.
when I was drinking and smoking at my height, just this earlier this year, like when I would like bend down off of my bed to try to tie my shoe, I would get winded.
Yeah, that's a sign of heart failure.
Yeah.
And it's usually reserved for people mine and Brian's side.
Right.
Well, mine wasn't the heart. Mine was because
Or a 35-year chain smoking habit.
Mine was because of the compression of bending over and my stomach being compressed between my legs and my chest.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what mine was. I just knew when I bent down and I'd come back up, I'd be like,
No, it's if I try to sit on the couch in our
I
living
gotta
room,
quit this shit.
I cannot tie my shoes if I'm sitting on the couch in my living room. I have to go like into my computer room and lift like the chair Mike is sitting in, but I have to raise it up, or I got to go sit on my bed because it's on wheels.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of fucked up. You get your health in such a bad place that you have to pick and choose when you get mad. You can't just be mad and emotional.
Yeah,
right.
Because you might not make it.
Right.
So when I'm really mad in traffic or something, I can't do it. I won't live. If I let myself go to where I want to go, I may not make it out of this truck.
Yeah, it's true. I have to pick my battles too, because especially I don't have a lot of outlets right now, and I'm trying to find other outlets for
Krav Maga.
To not have all the, and I try not to be angry, dude, but the littlest things lately have just pissed me right off, especially if you're having, my stomach's been bothering me and then I cracked this tooth, so it's been hurting. So I'm like,
yeah, pain always makes it worse.
So it's every little commercial I hear on TV, I'm like, fuck you, kid, you fucking, fuck your Christmas, fuck Santa Claus, fuck, everything.
Fuck.
Yeah, if I don't, another bad one for me, I have to stay away from people. If I have one night that I sleep a little bit, I don't have enough sleep.
Oh yeah,
it's okay. But if I do 2 or 3 nights in a row with little or no sleep, I can be horrible. I mean, I will mistreat my mother. I can get bad.
Oh yeah.
I'm not literally, but I'm just saying
Oh yeah,
I can be horrible to anybody in the world.
Same thing.
I could be mean to fucking Mr. Rogers.
My poor dad's come down and woke me up. Like, hey, what time you got to go to work? And it'll be 15 minutes before I really got to get up. And I'm like, why are you waking me up? I got an alarm set. What the fuck?
That's like you're a teenager again.
Get up, get up. I know, and that's what I do. I'm like, damn, man.
God.
I'm like, I go, who the fuck do I think I am, man?
Yeah.
And people, and I tell people, and they're like, dude, you're a dick. I'm like, hey, I pay rent. And I get pissed off again because I'm like, I pay fucking rent. Fuck you, man.
Then the guilt hits you later about
then later on, it's like, damn, man, my dad, all he did was come downstairs and say, hey, are you going to work today?
I've actually, I get mad if people, this is how, if I'm having trouble sleeping and someone comes home from somewhere later at night, even though I'm already awake, they didn't wake me up. But I'll just see their lights coming, kind of shake me more awake than I already am. Like, this motherfucker, don't you got something to do?
Yeah, right.
Why are you coming home this?
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. It's stupid as shit. Because I have a bad habit of instead of going to bed, I will watch something and fall asleep on the couch, and then wake up 3 hours later, groggy, and then go to bed and try to finish the rest of my sleep. And I'll do it 3 or 4 nights in a row.
Yeah.
And then the stupidest shit,
do it.
My phone will ring. It's it's 11:27. And my wife's calling me. I'm like, what the fuck is she calling me for? Mm-hmm. It's 11:27. I don't even know what the fuck it is. It's just for some reason, the fact that she's calling me right now doesn't make any sense. Why are you calling me?
Oh, yeah, man. And I'll have people text me at 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm like, what the fuck? They know I work nights. Well, yeah, but they also know you get off at 4 a.m, asshole. They don't know you got to sleep till the last fucking minute,
Yeah, you got to be up for work in the next hour. So.
Yeah, it's the fucking assholes fucking texting me at 1:30.
He was talking about me. I text him at 1:30.
Oh no, Neil does it too.
But it's just the stupidest. I don't remember what it was. Oh, I was really tired and I have to let the dogs out, obviously, and it was later on a Saturday, and I'd been awake for a couple hours, but it was 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning at the end of summer, and my neighbor was just cutting his grass, and the dogs don't like his lawnmower. I'm like, that fucking guy always cutting his grass once a week.
Yeah, right.
I was so pissed at him for cutting his grass.
Fuck that guy.
That fucking guy. Actually, that particular guy cuts his grass. Like there's times where he cuts it 3 times a week.
Oh fuck him.
But this time he actually let it go, and he did it.
Well, fuck that guy then.
He did it in a respectable amount of time. It was like 10 days between.
That's how I know, though. I'm too tired, and it's not their fault. I know that it's not the world's fault. It's mine.
Yeah.
When I get mad at people for regular things, like this usually you get road rage if somebody cuts you off or does something stupid. All they'll do is like turn in front of you. They're already in front of you. What's with this turning where you need to go?
Yeah, right.
Bullshit?
Yeah. You could have turned your turn signal on 6 seconds earlier.
Yeah.
So I would have known.
I should ram your car.
Or
Here, the guy has no idea. He's got a lunatic behind him.
6 extra seconds, and I could have let off my gas a little. Now I'm going to get really close to you.
Yeah,
people do that
Then
anyways.
you get back to the shop, and your boss asks you something very basic.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I need you to take this garbage out if you don't mind. Like something you kind of always have
Yeah.
to do. Like, so how? And then you turn into dirty. So you're going to come here and disrespect me? What's your problem? Like, I just need it taken out. I'm, not. All right, you're going to insult me, huh? I'm just your slave. Like, well, I'm paying you good money. I'm just taking the garbage out.
Sometimes I like my boss, like he's real passive aggressive at times, but sometimes he'll be really cool, and it's like I feel like this. If I'm in a bad mood, I feel this need that I have to like be like that with him to let him know that, hey, you can't. You're not getting one over on me, asshole. I know when you're being a dick,
Yeah, but that's kind of his fault for being passive aggressive.
But I'll do it, and then I feel bad because he just totally is thrown off guard and doesn't know how to act.
I think that's his fault because
It is kinda
if
his
he
fault.
wasn't passive aggressive beforehand, you wouldn't be expecting it every time.
Yeah.
Well, I remember just because I had again, it was 2 or 3 nights I had trouble sleeping. I had just got out of the hospital. So I was on steroids and different medications that were keeping me up, and my mom was sick, so I was just on edge. It had nothing to do with this. And my boss came up to me, and he's like, "We're just gonna, since we're shorthanded, we need you guys to, instead of leaving at 4, you need to stay till 4:30,
Yeah, right.
a half hour." I go, "I ain't doing it."
Yeah.
I ain't doing it.
I go. No, you ain't changing up the game on me. You ain't changing the goalpost. The whole goalpost moving, and I ain't your slave, and all this. And he looks at me. I came to my senses.
Mike's like, I don't want to go on a rant, but
Yeah, and I kept going. And he looked at me.
We need to unionize right now.
And he's like, Mike, it's a half hour. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
yeah.
And I apologized to him later. I'm like, dude, I've been going through I didn't explain everything. I go, I got a lot going on. He's like, yeah, I know. You just came out. He goes, I go, but then he apologized. I shouldn't have came up to you. Like what? Walked up to me and told me something.
Yeah. I shouldn't have came up to you and asked you nicely to stay a half hour. That was really wrong of me. You know what? It was.
You probably should have just punched
It
me,
is
dude.
your fucking fault.
Oh man.
But it was totally me being irrational.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens if your nervous system sucks from just things that pile up. That last person gets it, and they don't even deserve it.
Oh yeah.
You're on edge. There's that little thread left before you snap, and it could be anything. It could be somebody like spill water on you, something like what are you?
Oh yeah.
It's because
Grab someone by the face and start squeezing their cheeks.
well because the kids are on Christmas break, so they're home all the time.
Oh boy.
And it'll be like, but it'll be something stupid. It's like you're already on edge, and like my son will walk up and say, "Hey, it's like 12:15. What's for lunch?" It's like, "What do you want me to do about it? What do you want me to do? You can't find your own food." It's like
Good job.
just like, how about I go to sleep earlier and actually go to bed at night, and I probably would be a lot better. But,
Yeah.
Right.
and then tonight I'll go home and I'll start watching something after
Yeah.
I get home and
You
not
know,
go to bed like I should.
It's tough though. Another big thing too is not having like a structure of something like some kind of schedule of a day all day. I mean, you got to. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, it sucks.
It is, yeah.
Because I know, like the last place I worked at, like I had a boss there that was actually really, really nice. And, if I ever get a chance, I would tell him, that we're cool again, because at the end he wouldn't even talk to me anymore.
Oh man.
But, it was kind of like sometimes it was his fault because he would go all management on me and act like an asshole about like little things, but overall it was them beating down on him, And he was a good dude, you know, and he was just, you know, he was like 3 months younger than me, you know, I mean, so, but dude, I berated that man on multiple occasions for the stupidest things. And it was always like, all right, listen, man, I just got from up above. They want this and this and this. You motherfucker. Fucking just unload on him.
You should be standing
And
up
afterwards,
for us.
my boy Chris would go, dude, you made him almost cry, dude. All he was doing was relaying, I don't give a fuck. He's a manager. He's just as guilty as them, you know? And then later I'd be like, damn, I was kind of a dick, wasn't I? Yeah, you were.
Yeah, that's sometimes, you know, sometimes I go off on people too like that at work, and they don't really deserve it. But then there are times where, like, if sometimes you're in a good mood, or you get so many bad things happen in a row that you're just numb and you don't even care. Like, hey, we're gonna need you to do this 5 extra things, and you don't have any time to do one. You just kind of look at them, and give that blank stare, like, okay,
Yeah.
and then you just do what you're doing and ignore it.
My
Or you're like, really?
I always hated, like, there would be
I'm
certain,
not doing any of those.
you know, the days you schedule, like, your dentist or doctor's appointment or something, so you know you're leaving early that day, and you're just waiting because you know that it's going to end up being the stupidest fucking day.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, something bad's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I'm not going to be able to leave early. It's not going to happen. I know it. Or like a school function for your kids or something, and you're like, nope, it's going to be the worst day ever. I know for a fact I won't be able to leave. And it goes smoothly, but because you were anticipating all the bullshit to happen, it didn't happen.
Yeah, you're still pissed.
No matter what, you're like walking out the door, like, I'm getting ready to walk out the door, and you're thinking, they're like, no, you can't leave. You got to do this.
Yep.
You're like waiting at the door for a second, like, no, nothing happened. So you're like, anytime, so when something stupid does happen, like someone cuts you off or someone doesn't go fast enough in front of you, that's when you lose it because
See?
you anticipated,
See?
I knew something was going to happen.
Yep. Or you get to like the appointment and it's like, okay, yeah, there's just doctor's running just a little bit behind. Oh, see, I knew it.
I did everything in my power to get here on time. Yeah, that's happened on multiple occasions.
Well, speaking of work, I wanted to tell our 50th show.
Yeah, that's coming up.
It's coming up. It's going to also be our 1-year anniversary since we started. Now, I had big plans. Morgan was going to come in. Jeff actually backed out already, but
Yeah.
but Morgan was going to come by. I had to tell Morgan, basically, we're going to have him in a different time because they were talking about this work thing. And we're talking about managers, and I did a fight with them about it, but I wanted to have that Thursday or Friday off so I could pick him up at the airport and hang out and everything.
Yeah.
But it's not my work's fault that one guy quit and then another guy's getting surgery because he's got prostate issues.
What a bitch.
Well, he could wait.
Yeah. So we're going to do something, but we're going to have everyone in Discord. But I had big plans, like, I'm going to set a time for this. We're going to talk about this, and I kind of was going to map it out, but we've been working a lot and stuff. So
we're going to have like a live band, playing in between.
We're going to raffle off a blowjob.
Yeah, raffle. Yeah. We're going to have like, chicks like in here. We could throw stuff at them. Whoever catches, whoever catches the most in their mouth gets a $50 gift card towards a boob job or something.
So
Hey,
the
that's good,
50th
yeah.
1 year is just going to be a regular show that hopefully we get at least a fourth person here, and then the Discord guys can join. I've told them to try to make it. Morgan said he's definitely going to do the Discord.
Yeah.
Jeff is going to do the Discord.
We had to find a way to get everybody who has participated in the show in the past year to be part of it.
Some kind of way.
Yeah.
Stones.
Even if I have to read a statement.
Stones,
Yeah.
Frank.
I
Yeah.
have to read their statement. Look, don't come over, just write a statement, and I'll read it.
Yeah.
Our our video message, like we're famous, like, thank you, Gary Sinise.
Hey, yeah.
Like everybody thinks.
Yeah, they did do a little quick video like, congratulations, Radio Underground, on your 50th episode, 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, like some great accomplishment. Yeah, we're real good at not quitting a dying product.
Dude, we could do that. Dude, we could do that.
Oh, man.
This will get you. Are you friends with, I don't think you're friends with them, but anyways, on Facebook, one of our friends, Rob, paid a celebrity to berate a few of his friends for Christmas, like say, Merry Christmas, blah, blah, blah. He hired Tommy Dreamer
Oh, really?
to do a promo for Jay, who's been on the show. You know Jay.
Okay, yeah.
said, "Merry Christmas." Your dog's basically a cat, but whatever, and basically just made fun of everybody and Lucas and a couple other people. You can hire Tommy Dreamer for like $40 to say shit.
It's not a bad price.
And who's Tommy Dreamer?
He's an ECW wrestler.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
dude, I'll totally give him $40 to go.
Hey, Radio Underground sucks.
yeah.
You guys haven't even got 100 subscribers on YouTube yet.
Do we even have 50?
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, like I listened to it. It kind of sucks, so hey, whatever. Good luck.
Uninteresting. Content's lacking.
Yes,
I want to give
those. 49.
I was not a fan of this man, but rest in peace, Don Imus. He passed away yesterday. He was whether you liked him or not, he was a radio legend. 50 years. 50 years as what they would
years old, man.
It was what they would call a shock jock. He was one of the first to really kind of syndicate, and he did a lot for kids. He was very passionate about kids with cancer and
he had that ranch
special
or whatever,
needs.
right?
He had that ranch that basically he had for 25 years, basically until he couldn't keep it going anymore
Until
with
he
his
said,
health.
Nappy-headed hoes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he even had it
right.
after that, but he
He kind of lost some
well,
viewership.
all right, let's just put this right out there. Don Imus was kind of racist and sexist. We already knew that. I mean, he was a 50s man, I mean, period. But what he did in radio,
he had the bushiest eyebrows I've ever seen.
what he did in radio and what he did, him and his wife for kids with cancer.
That was great,
and he was a legend in radio. I was never a huge fan of his, but
Now, I didn't listen to him a lot. My parents actually, they would watch him, the TV, like he was syndicated, but he was on TV.
Yeah, he was like MSNBC.
Like, they would play him for like 2 hours.
Yeah, right.
And it didn't matter who was president, he hated him.
Oh, yeah, that was the one.
Bill Clinton's an idiot. George Bush, every time there was he hated him.
That's the one thing you can honestly, like, when you can't really talk, like, you cannot say his politics were one way or the other.
No, he hated whoever was running it.
He just hated him.
No matter who was in office, he hated their guts.
So for me, that right there, he's got a lot of props in my book for that one, man. He gets a lot of props in my book for that because he didn't care. I like that. He could pick apart anything about any of them.
Oh yeah, he was he's like a crotchety old prick.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
he could be funny. He was funny.
Yeah,
at times.
yeah. Well, and I remember like some of his early stuff. I remember hearing him in the 80s a little bit, and even early 90s, and he did have some funny stuff. And he was a musician. Really, originally that was what he was looking at. Was him and his brother. They were looking at becoming musicians. They could play instruments and sing and stuff, and they wrote little songs. That's how they started years and years before he did, before he got into radio. So, because he actually, he went to broadcasting school and got kicked out, but he'd done enough to where he could get his license that he needed to actually get into radio. So,
I hate to interrupt this because Don Imus, I don't respect to him, but this is more important than that, guys.
I agree.
Ohio State's losing 21-16.
Right.
Return of the Nord.
Nordic Thunder.
He's like one of the guys you got to fight in Hellblade.
Yeah.
He's
He's big enough to be one of them.
He's just gonna wear that fucking crazy helmet that those that's the thing about the game. Like the bad guys you fight, have the most badass. It's like the Jun Horde from the. It reminds me of the Jun Horde from the Beastmaster movie.
Oh yeah,
but they were even scarier, and they're all like 7 foot tall, and they wear these. I can't explain it. It's almost like they're part that and part. You're fighting a giant Nord that's ripped that was in the Jun Horde, plus their Scarecrow from Batman. It's like they're fucked, and it's.
That sounds. I forgot about man. I need to watch Beastmaster. I haven't seen that in forever.
The original Beastmaster.
Yeah, not the. Yeah, no, they had Beastmaster 2, the Portal of Time or some shit.
Cool.
Where he came to L.A. in the late 80s, early 90s, and Kari Wurr was driving him around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was terrible. Terrible movie.
Beastmaster 2, Electric Boogaloo.
No.
Yeah.
But then they made a Beastmaster series after all the Xena and
Right.
Hercules shows.
That's what I remember, in the 90s or something, or the 2000s. They did that.
I remember they had the.
Who was the Beastmaster? What was it? Mark Singer?
Yeah.
Well, he came back to the TV show to fight the new Dar.
Yeah.
And they gave the old Dar, and he wasn't Dar anymore, Singer, and his name was Dartanus.
Really?
I'm like, that's what they call him, Dartanus?
That's
Really?
dumb. Mike will know this. No one else in the world will, but what are the names of the ferrets?
Kodo and Poto?
Yep. Kodo and Poto.
Oh, from
Beastmaster.
Oh, dude, no, I totally would not have remembered that.
The black tiger's name was Who. Or Who.
I remember
And
reading.
then the hawk's name was...
I remember I told you guys that story. Do you remember that story?
Call it like that?
I told him a story. I was driving. It was like this. I don't remember if it was you or if it was Craig, but I told him that I was driving and I saw this hawk flying overhead, and I was like way out somewhere, and all of a sudden Beastmaster walked out of the thing, and this. But I remember reading something with John, because John Amos was in the first one. Remember John Amos?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
John Amos, like from Good Times,
Yeah.
was in that, and
He's
Rip
got
Torn.
like assless chaps.
He's got assless. But I remember reading something with him one time, and they were talking to him about this movie. He's like, honestly, I didn't know what was happening half the time.
Well, the funniest is when he's like rallying the troops to like dig out the moat.
Yeah.
And it like didn't. I mean, he's a black man, and and the theme was kind of like barbarian,
Yeah.
European theme. But he was there, and they're digging out the moat, and they're pulling. He's like, pull for your freedom,
like a slave.
He's doing like slave motivation to these white guys.
He got it. He got the power finally.
And they're like, pull for your freedom.
And then Rip Torn looked fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like the pastiest white skin and dark eyes.
R has spoken. He wants your children.
Holy crap.
That movie is so great, though.
Dude, I got to watch
It's
that.
still a great movie. I don't care.
Oh my god. And
I got to watch it. It's been so long.
It was just, and it looks like some ancient land, and it's just like outside of Malibu somewhere.
Simi Valley.
Simi Valley, yeah.
Simi Valley.
What's her name from...
Tanya Roberts.
Tanya Roberts.
Yeah, Tanya Roberts.
We knew where you're going.
Yeah. She was in that, right?
And
yeah.
that's Donna's mom.
Hot
from
A.
that
Yeah.
70s show.
Yeah, Hot Donna's mom. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Midge.
Midge.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to get that movie. I got to watch it again.
The Jun Horde, they look like they come up. They look like they've left a Judas Priest concert.
Yeah.
They're coming to kill you.
Such a good, underrated good movie. Remember The Eye in the Hand?
Oh yeah,
Dude, that freaked me out for so long after that.
I remember our accounts payable girl had like she's got a lot of bling like on her hand.
Yeah.
And I went up to her. I'm like, "Hey, yo," I go, "Were you in that Beastmaster movie?" She's like, "What?" I go, "You look like the Beastmaster, the witches."
Oh, yeah.
She goes, "I don't know what the hell you're talking about." And then one of the older guys, our age, he was like, "She does," because her rings are so thick.
You know, you just made me think of something when you said, because she was younger, right? So she didn't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you have a nephew who's a teenager, and I have a kid who's a teenager. But also, I'm around teenagers a little bit because I give people rides home and stuff. And how do you can't, it's impossible. No matter how up to date or hip you think you are in certain things, you can't relate to them, can you, at all?
No, not at all.
It's impossible. Like, I'll crack jokes about stuff I know they know, and there's like, yeah. Like, that was fucking gold, kid.
You're old. You don't matter.
Yeah. So when do you actually reach that age where you get to that? Have I been past it for a long time and just now realized it?
I don't know. I think probably in some, depending on their age, you're like an old man after 24, really.
Yeah, it's basically what it is, because it's like there's a bunch of 13, 14, all the way up to 16, and like my daughter, who's gonna be 13, she's got the dark humor for me. She watches the same shows. She's got my sense of humor. My son does not.
Yeah.
At all. My son's an innocent,
Yes.
if you will.
Yes.
But they're all getting to that point. Like I'm cracking jokes, and I'm like, they know who these people or these situations or shows are. These jokes are comedy gold.
These are goddamn funny.
These are fucking funny, kids.
You don't recognize genius when you
I'll
see it.
kick you
dummy.
off your hoverboard.
You know what? Though, like, I think, like, nowadays, and I don't mean just, like, the last few years, but I've just noticed over the last, like, decade or so, maybe even a little longer than that, maybe all through the 2000s, is that there's just too many things change too quick.
That is true.
It's constantly changing. So you being older and having kids and through these years, it's like you can't keep up with what these fucking kids are. It changes all the time.
It's even worse than that. And we used to make fun of those older people that tried to be hip and cool and hang out with us and stuff.
Yeah.
And not just am I not funny, but am I those people that I ridiculed for all those years?
Oh, you are absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Fuck!
absolutely.
You are that person.
Fuck.
Yeah, you're there.
Damn it.
You're someone you're oblivious to what a fucking useless nerd you are.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, you've seen that thing where Steve Buscemi dresses up like the skater kid and is walking around, hey kids, I'm a kid too. I'm going to be that guy.
Well, the problem is I'm not around enough young people. So to me, I'm just always in a bad mood. So I know that I have nothing. I'm just crabby, and I know that I have nothing in common with them. I'm just miserable and crabby, and I don't want to be around them either. So it's mutual.
Yeah, it's like it sounds creepy. I'm around teenagers all the time, but my daughter's going to be her friends. A couple of them already are. My son is. My niece, my brother's stepdaughter. I'm around. I give her rides home from school and stuff, and her friends.
Yeah, I mean you're constantly hanging out at the high school and junior high school.
Well, the funny thing is, this is how I know.
I'm on a list. I'm on a list now.
You're rubbing yourself.
License plate number.
Yeah. Cargo
so you were starting to say before
I don't remember now. Now I'm worried about being on a pedophile list. Thanks.
Well, like, all right,
we talk about pedophile jokes and once every episode for like 12 episodes. We are totally going to get watched.
It's like the Red Dead Redemption 2 of
pedophiles. We go from the Michael Jackson to we're just going down the list.
Oh,
dark web. It's like,
look, I'm all right.
Hell's house got fucking raided.
My point is, I'm around teenagers a bit, and I thought I related to them a little bit better, and I'm wrong.
All right, I'm going to defend us on the whole pedophile thing. All right, because basically, like,
I'm gonna edit that. I'm gonna defend pedophiles.
and this is what, and here's how I'm going to defend us is because
you're not helping out
us who are not pedophiles.
There's too many.
We are not pedophiles.
Like, there's too much shit going on in society. There's too many freaks in society, man. Like, every time you turn around on TV or anywhere, there's a freaking pedophile. Somebody's touching somebody or trying to. I don't do that, but, So, all right, so I just defended us against pedophilia, but I don't think it really worked.
Your phone ringing?
Oh, that's too bad.
What? Is that the FBI?
No, it's a buddy of mine from Utah, but it's too, like, you can't. He always calls me, well, what time is it? Oh, it's about drunk 30 there.
Yeah.
So
it's about 9:30.
I'd love to talk to him, but he always calls me at, like, inopportune times.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours difference. Right?
Angelo says, I hope to see this same charisma at your court trial.
AJ's killing it.
In my defense,
it was funny.
Oh, my gosh.
That's like the worst. That's worse than death, being put on that list. Like, can't you just charge me for murder?
Yeah.
Just suicide me now. Just Epstein me now.
Yeah.
Get this over with.
Well, I was watching a marathon. Like, I got home from work early a couple nights ago. I was watching. There was like 5 or 6 Family Guys in a row, and I think there was 5, and I watched them all, and 4 of them made pedophile references, Catholic Church priest references. 4 of those episodes. I'm like, damn, dude, is this like it's like every episode? I mean,
it's easy jokes.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of it like
low-hanging fruit.
But some of it made me blush. Like, some of what they said, I was like, holy crap, I can't believe like they actually said that.
The South Park one was with the Morlocks and children.
Oh yeah.
That one was.
I remember the Sandusky episode too.
Oh yeah.
They did right after the whole thing broke. They did a Penn State episode.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, or when they're talking about like the camping trip, they're like, oh yeah, you really want your kid the Catholic boat? I mean,
yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
been-
going to defend pedophiles.
So I'm going to defend.
Just the way you're saying it.
It's been fun.
Oh, dude, it's going to be. Yeah, you're going to have a good time with that one.
There's a.
How am I going to do a description of this show? Because it's literally the second week in a row we've talked extensively about pedophilia.
Well, we didn't do it Salon. Do you know Salon.com, that like really far left wing site?
Yeah.
They had a guy, all right, I'm not going to live in the shadows no more, and he was talking about defending his views of pedophilia.
Oh, God.
I was like, buddy, you better hope to God that no one knows what you look like.
Right.
That's
Fuck,
insane,
You're
man.
going to get the shit beat out of you. But he defended his proclivities. I was like, whoa.
Oh.
It was like, he's like, here I am. I'm not want to live in the shadows no more.
Oh boy.
Well, you better go back in the shadows.
You know, I had a plan, though. I wanted to tell you guys this. You know how at Nerdfest we would do a toast?
Yeah.
And I had an idea when I had the I wanted to have someone film it, and I was going to put it on the internet. I was going to, do a toast, to like I did, I did it a few years in a row with that karaoke machine.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say, my speech was going to, but since we don't do Nerdfest anymore, I'll just tell you what I was going to do.
We should do it.
I was like, all right, take a look around at everybody here. We're all brothers and sisters here, and, we all hold your drink up. And I would like to thank everybody for showing up here and participating in the National Rights for Pedophiles Foundation. We will no longer live in the shadows. Everybody was like, everybody go, what? They're being filmed, agreeing with me or something.
What was the real one from South Park? Nambla.
NAMBLA. That's
Yeah.
the North American Man Boy Love
Association.
Yeah, there's a
Association.
real
Or the North American Marlon Brando lookalikes.
Because the one doctor looked just like Marlon Brando.
Yeah, Dr. Mephisto.
Yeah.
They're like, what? No, what? You're not the NAMBLA? You're no. Oh, we're the North American. Oh, it's that other NAMBLA. We've been fighting them for years.
Yeah.
Oh, you all really do look like Marlon Brando. Thank you.
But I remember watching an episode, and when they were not the Marlon Brando ones, but the other ones, the Man Boy Love Association.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not real. It's totally fucking
yeah.
real.
It's a real organization.
Before that episode, and I'm talking way back, like I was a teenager. I was watching like
I don't wish violence on anybody, but if their headquarters sort of went on and blew up, I wouldn't mind.
I want to say I was
Fireball.
I was in my late teens or something, and I was watching like a Springer or one of those,
Or
like
Geraldo.
it was like when I like watching that the white power guys that were on the show the one time. That's what it was. It was a show about all these different groups of people, and they were all like. Yeah, and this guy sitting here defending, and he was part of NAMBLA, and I'm like, I remember that sticking out in my head when that South Park episode came on, I'm like, I knew what it was, what they were talking about. But yeah, he was defending well, if a 9-year-old wants to be in love with a man, you should be able to be. I go, oh my God, dude, and people were just like, they were mad about it, but I'm like, you would never get away if they were on a talk show today. There'd be people outside with sniper rifles waiting for him to come out.
You were probably watching Morton Downey.
It was Morton Downey.
Yeah,
it
was a big famous episode.
Yes, it was. That's right. It was Morton Downey because I forgot all about that guy. He always had the craziest shit on that.
He was
show.
Springer
Remember
before
he had
Springer.
He had
Oh, yeah.
Gigi Allen on there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because Gigi Allen, that dude.
Didn't he get hit with the chair? Or
He
was
was,
that Geraldo?
No, that was Geraldo.
Yeah, okay.
Geraldo got
Got his nose broken.
He got
Yeah.
his nose broken. He was fighting with was it Tom Metzger and his gang of white supremacists.
Yeah.
And then I listened to an interview with Tom Metzger as an old man. He goes, he wasn't hit with a chair. My buddy broke his nose. He didn't want to.
Yeah. Metzger is fun.
He's still mad as ever.
Oh yeah.
And he's-
I mean, I just like listening to the guy sometimes.
you got.
I don't
because
support
they're
his shit, but I just like listening to him sometimes.
Well, the same thing. Like when people are so far out there, it's interesting because they're just so different. Like I'll listen to Farrakhan, and he's talking about me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like
If they put it well, yeah.
well, because it's just so foreign to me that someone would think like that.
Uh-huh.
The white man came. The good old Louis Farrakhan, who looks like he's barely black, by the way.
Yeah, he does.
He looks
Yeah.
like he's about 1/3 black, maybe.
Yeah.
He looks.
You made me think of something I was going to say, and it's this. Everybody needs to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It has nothing to do with what you're just saying. I'm just using this opportunity.
Radio Underground.
On
Subscribe to YouTube.
We need subscribers.
We need to up this shit.
The views are fine. We need subscribers.
All right,
now.
so like, I didn't do that, right? So I gotta don't I have to start my own YouTube?
Do you have a Gmail
thing?
account?
If you have a Gmail account, you can allocate it automatically.
Yeah, you just sign right into YouTube using your Gmail account.
Oh, okay.
And then-
You need to become our 50th subscriber. Let's do this, Alan.
Okay.
And Brian, the other day, because I got two, I was like, oh, cool, I got another subscriber.
Yeah.
What happened was, it's people are subscribing to me personally.
Oh.
And it's both on my phone. I'm like, I don't want people to follow me. I want
Don't
people to
follow
my
me.
I need them to follow my fucking Radio Underground page. I don't care about myself.
Because views are through the roof.
Yeah, we're up there, man.
We're moving.
10,000 or something.
Yeah, 10-4.
I
We've
mean,
had 400 in the last 3
I kind of
days.
need to get re-networking on everything anyway, because now I got the bass and the keyboard, so I'm I'm going to start doing my.
I'm going to go get a Schecter bass, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah,
If I can get one cheap.
I just bought that Ibanez kit. I mean, it was like $279. I mean, the strings that I'm going to put a different set of strings on, because I think that thing's probably been sitting in their warehouse for a while, because the string's got a serious buzz to it when I hit it.
That.
So, but it's just kind of funny, because every time I had a bass, I've owned a bass 3 different times, and every time I would play it, I always I caught on quicker than the guitar. I always had an issue with the guitar. The smaller strings always messed with my fingers,
Bass players are worthless.
Yeah, so
I can only do one at a time.
yeah. So
I went to bass because no one needed a bad guitar player.
I was just quoting Jay.
It's like
Piker finger.
Yeah. It's like
He hates bass players.
The wide receivers who can't catch play cornerback.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
true.
Like, okay, you got bad hands.
Yeah.
We're going to put you on defense.
Yeah, we're gonna put you back here, and you're just gonna run after wide
Just run and
receivers.
jump and hit the ball.
Okay, you're as fast as them.
Yeah.
Just make sure they don't get the ball.
Just knock the ball. Yeah,
You know
knock
how
the ball
you
down.
can't catch it? Make sure that they can't.
I mean, look at
Same principle.
Darius Slay. I mean, it's not like he intercepts a lot of balls.
No, he's not a ball hawk at all.
No, he's I mean, last year I think he had 8, and that was the most in a year in his career, I think. But he knocks. If you throw it his way, and he knocks everything out of the air.
It's timing. It's timing.
Now, I remember we played flag football, and it was co-ed, so it was a lot of girls. And for some reason, I kept getting assignments with the girls, so instead of intercepting it all the time, I just kept slapping it. But one of the guys, this Puerto Rican guy on our team named Anthony, he's like, get the pick and get the score. I'm like, Anthony, man, I'm guarding women here.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm not gonna. We don't need to run it up.
They might bump against me, and and I might enjoy it.
He's one of those guys that everything we played was like the 7th game of the NBA Finals. Like, he's just always intense. Like, I don't need to fucking get a pick and a pick 6 on fucking chicks, dude. I'm sorry.
Ohio State's up 23-21. Just so you know.
And what? Where are we at? 3rd?
No, they're in the 4th now. 9:54 left.
It's gonna be a tight game. I kind of figured it might be
9 something left. Ohio State has the ball.
I figured it might be a tight game, but
Yeah, it's
So
tight.
Trent Copenhagen, we need him to come back or whatever his name is.
Trevor doesn't have a passing touchdown. He does.
Trent Copenhagen.
He's thrown for $176 and a touchdown, and ran for 96 and a touchdown.
wow.
Yeah, he had a 67-yard run.
Oh, he's fast, huh?
He's
Fast.
He's averaging 6.4 a carry.
I like him fast.
He's doing a lot of running, 15 carries. But they're Ohio State's got the ball. They got to do something about that.
Yeah, I hate Ohio State very much.
I do
very
too.
much aggravate me. I wanted to know. You see, your Rampage is fighting Fedor.
I heard about it. I thought it was a joke.
And in Fedor, Fedor weighs pretty much the same as he did.
I saw
Rampage
Rampage.
is up to 260.
He looked. Yeah, I saw him.
He's
He looked
bloated
thick.
AF.
Who's gonna win?
He's thick. He's a chunk.
Is Rumble gonna fight this year?
I don't know, but he fucking juiced himself up on some substances
Juice.
and got jacked as hell. He wanted to see how far he could go with bodybuilding, but supposedly he's shrinking down and perhaps coming back to fighting.
I hope so.
don't
I
know.
miss him.
Oh, yeah, his power is something to behold.
Yeah, I'm a big Rumble Johnson fan. So
Oh, yeah, he brains people.
So
It's always worth a see.
when are Fedor and they're fighting? When are they fighting?
Is it tonight?
For real?
Whatever. No, I think it was the 29th, which would be tomorrow.
That's a Sunday.
I think that's what I thought the date was. See, let's look it up here. Rampage versus Fedor.
Oh, no, it's tonight. Starts at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
It's at the Saitama Super Arena.
Oh, come on, give you.
Where's the Okama Gamesphere?
That's kind of what the Series X looks like.
It
looks
is
like
kinda.
the Game Sphere.
It is.
Yo, come on, give you.
Wow. So that already started. I want updates on that card because I literally had no clue they were fighting. That's how little that mattered to me, I guess.
Yeah, well, it would have been a great fight 12 years ago.
Yeah, there are already three. There are already 3 fights through the main card. So they have 6 fights on the main card. That's weird.
Yeah.
But there are 3 fights through, and they got another three to go.
This is going to be Rampage's circulation after the second round.
Is that that dude's been around a while, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Him
Oh, wait,
and Fedor have both.
Yeah. Were you talking about Rampage or talking about the crying guy?
Rampage.
Yeah, he's been around a long
The
time.
crying guy's no longer around.
He's no longer. He
He
died.
passed.
The crying guy.
Yeah.
He was a fighter.
Oh, he was a fighter?
Well, he was a boxer.
He
at
was
one
a
point.
boxer.
Then he's a drug addict, and
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why the intervention, his family, like,
that's from the TV
Oh.
show. Intervention.
So-
I remember there was
that
a...
still loves you.
Oh, my God. I never heard of that. When
He's
you
playing
said the
Drew
crying guy, I kept thinking, for some reason, it kept popping in my head. There was... When I used to listen to sports radio here, there was a guy that called in called the Crying Lion.
Oh, wow.
And he used to call into one of the
DFN.
No, it was what Parker and the Man or something like that.
I don't know.
And then and then I found out, like, because I had him on like some page, like a Lions page, like a Pride of the Lions or something. I found out that like he killed himself a few years ago. I was like, oh
Wow.
wait,
I got dark. Wow.
yeah, it did, but
Yeah,
you know,
hey, whatever.
Well, he said the crying guy wasn't around anymore, so that's why I kept popping in my head like that. I kept thinking about that. Wow.
You know what? Frank inspired this because I saw one of his posts. So this is something I want to ask you guys about, and I forgot to make a note of it. So, you may have heard that as of yesterday, you have to be 21 to buy cigarettes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
Whatever.
I
I mean, it doesn't affect me at all.
No.
None of it affects me. My thing is, I think
why?
what all adult rights should come at one thing. So it's either 18 or 21. Fine, you can't
yeah.
vote. You can't do all
Well,
that.
look, I look at it this
You can't
way.
go get
Like,
blown up for your
You
country.
can't become an adult twice.
Yeah.
You're either an adult at exactly at 18 or 21.
you know what?
But
I
then
like-
again, I do favor states' rights. So I don't know.
I kind of looked at
guess it's
it
up to
this
them.
way: like, it's how long is it? I mean, it's been how long that alcohol you've had to be 21, and they basically came up with that decision. Why? Because they felt that 18-year-olds weren't responsible enough to drink. I don't know. Is that the reason?
I guess
That's what they said. Yeah.
But really, like when I read about this yesterday with the cigarettes, there was a really good point made by somebody, and the person, like one comment, the person who commented wasn't like they were pro like for this. They were just saying, the one thing I notice is that like a lot of kids are still 18 years old in high school, and they can go and buy them for the kids in high school.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
yeah, but people can still do that.
No, it's true, but it's so much harder to get.
The first
that-
time I got drunk, you bought it for me, Al.
Right, but nowadays it is a lot harder to get access. Like people won't just do it like it used to be. I mean, I never had to have anybody buy me cigarettes, and I started buying them at like freaking the first time I ever bought a pack. I forged my mom's signature. I was 9 fucking years old.
Oh, I remember.
So I mean,
You could go up to any store and.
oh yeah, I
and
went to
your
any
family.
store. I go, yeah, I need my dad's cigarettes. And they go, oh, okay, what's your dad smoke? Whatever.
Yeah.
I never, ever had to show ID until after I was old enough to fucking buy cigarettes.
Well, and as far as the beer goes, you could always find somebody
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, you walk in a store like, hey man, if you buy me some beer, I'll give you a couple extra bucks. People would do it. Now nobody will do that.
No.
Because if something happens to those people you're buying beer for,
plus there's cameras everywhere.
Well,
see,
everywhere.
You get these California people. They're the same people that want voters to be able to be like 14 so they can fucking Democrats can win everything forever, but then you can't smoke.
I thought it was
till
16.
Fucking.
Well, yeah, but they want you to be able to vote younger, but you can't have rights till you're older.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, that is.
Just be consistent. That's all I care. I don't care what your worldview is. Just be consistent. I don't give a shit what it is. Just like be along the lines. But at the same time, California is a state, and I have to be consistent. I'm in favor of states' rights, and if California wants to do that, fine.
Yeah,
I'm in favor of states' rights. California can be as liberal as they want to be. It's their state.
And there's already been a number of states that have already went up to 21 on the cigarette thing. But when I lived out in Utah and a couple other states, it was already you had to be 19 at least.
Yeah.
So I mean that was a state thing, And you're right. I support state rights. I think a lot more things should be handled by the state.
Because the culture is different from place to place. Montana people are not the same as California people.
No.
Michigan people are not the same as Florida people.
Right.
We're different. That's fine. Everybody has their own culture and beliefs. So that's why I like states' rights. So I can't be mad about it in one instance, and then not in others. You got to be consistent about it. So I'm fine. Whatever. If California wants to fucking do whatever they want to do, I'm never going to live there. But like we were talking, I do want to see LA one day.
Yeah.
I do want to go there.
Yeah, me too, before it falls in, right?
Before it just collapses.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I've never been to Florida. You guys have been to Florida, haven't you?
I've been to Florida 100 times.
I've never been there. I've been never one time.
I went to Florida 31 years ago.
Yeah, you were a kid, right?
So I haven't been back.
I've been there a lot of times.
I want to go to Vermont and see Ben and Jerry's farm.
Yeah, somebody I know just went there, and I can't remember who it was. And that's like their second time there, and they love it.
I want to see how they fucking make Cherry Garcia.
Yeah. They got a graveyard with all the dead flavors that they don't make anymore, too.
Oh, yeah.
They actually like a literal graveyard with gravestones. It's just all the dead flavors.
There's a petition when Rich Piana died to try to get him his own flavor because he was such a fanatic about Ben and Jerry. Even though he was a bodybuilder, he was obsessed with Ben and Jerry's. He ate every single night. He ate a pint.
Wonder what kind of flavor he would get.
Motherfucking chocolate, because he swore all the time. Big juice. I don't know.
Yeah, something with juice in it would be a good one for him. Oh, juice. You just made me think of something. So I've been going through and kind of, in case you haven't noticed, updating some of the older videos with tags and whatever. So on YouTube,
it's helped.
It's helped, but and I've been grabbing some thumbnails, only public domain thumbnails, because I don't want to get sued for anything. So this is all public domain shit I put up there. But someone actually raised a question. I wonder what your thought is on this. It was for the Wes Watson one.
Yeah.
And, he works out.
Sure.
And the question was, is he natural or does he juice? What do you think?
He's definitely on stuff.
Yes, thank you.
Because of
my question.
his thickness and muscle density is too high for a natural, in my opinion, for a natural like bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And plus his age, I think he's 37 or 38.
Is he really? I thought he was older than that, honestly.
Yeah, after 35, it's a lot harder to build muscle. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't have a great work ethic and he doesn't work, like, you still have to train and you still have to put in the time to look how he does.
Yeah.
They put old people on steroids, they don't get jacked.
No.
But it helps. It definitely helps the muscle building process. And Wes, in my opinion, is on them.
Well,
but or at least TRT or something.
You went way more into depth than I thought you were. I thought it was trying to make it a quick answer. Your answer was like, "Yep, absolutely," because everybody knows he is.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, fuck no.
Wait, so what's TRT?
testosterone replacement therapy.
Yeah.
Oh, so like that's different. Is that different than like human growth hormones? I mean,
Well, it's
because
not,
HGH is a natural thing that you build in your body that you stop
But you can't
building.
get it
But the problem with HGH and why I wouldn't take it, even if I got certified and a doctor it can be part of a TRT, but usually they just give you testosterone. And let's say the average man is supposed to be at, I don't know, 800 or something. I don't know the numbers.
Yeah, no clue.
But at our age, we're probably at 400 or 500.
We definitely have low T.
So we would have to, what they do is they give you enough testosterone to put you back at your 18-year-old level, but it doesn't put you at like a surplus, like steroid, true steroid use,
Right.
where those guys are at like 2,000 or whatever.
Right.
And there's some people that need it, like we talked about before with MMA fighters, especially who are wrestlers by trade. They're always cutting weight. They've been cutting weight since they're like 5. A lot of those guys have low T because of weight cuts.
They wore their body out.
Yeah, so they need it in order, to be healthy in life later on.
Now, I know people that disagree with me, but I'm fine with athletes using PEDs.
No,
I want to see the best.
I want to see the best.
I'm absolutely the same way.
Because the thing is, the people in the crowd can legally take. We could all go right now because of our age and probably get TRT.
Oh yeah.
But a guy that fights for a living and gets punched in the head and could die out there for my entertainment can't.
Yeah, they can. They get a medical exemption, but it's like the steps you have to go through to get that are next to impossible.
Yeah,
Well, and here, my thing is and there's a lot of just like in pro sports, like with the marijuana thing, it's illegal still in a lot of the sports, and it's like they've proven that it can help as a pain reducer instead of all these freaking opiates that they shoot them up with.
yeah. I think they should be able to smoke marijuana or whatever to manage their anxiety and manage their pain.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm someone that never has or will smoke weed. I have no interest in it.
Nope.
But if it helps these guys get through the stress of being basically a modern day gladiator,
Right?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
And look at the NFL guys, man. Look at the size of them, and they're so on shit. It's obvious.
No way, man.
And I'm whatever. I'm okay with it.
Yep.
Because they get paid millions of dollars. I mean, if they go out there, I would say if you were a totally natural athlete that tried to play one of the line or like a linebacker or interior line, you're gonna get thrown around.
Yeah.
You're gonna get fucking thrown right around.
Yeah.
The other guys are on shit.
Yeah. Well, it's called.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying how it is.
It's
just
called
a fact.
performance enhancing. It's not. Okay, this is making you like an athlete.
No,
you were already an athlete.
You still have to have the genetics to get your foot in the door.
Right. You've been playing the sport all your life,
Me, the three of us could go on the same stack that, pick a guy that's a super athletic dude. Like, what was that? Who's that guy that was older and he still has that crazy, James Harrison, is that his name?
Yeah, yeah.
He has a crazy training regimen.
Yeah.
No, he's obviously on shit. But we could mimic.
No way, man.
We could mimic his.
He's clean.
We could mimic his training regimen. We could mimic his drug stack, and I will still never even get a sniff of college level athleticism.
No.
yeah.
You wouldn't even get the indoor football league.
Yeah. Your genetics have to be there. And then after that point, then it's the training and the supplements. And I'm doing air quotes with supplements.
We could all do what Barry Bonds did and do all the drugs and all that stuff, but we still don't have the hand-eye coordination.
No, he was one of the best.
You have to be a good hitter.
Mark McGwire was one of the best before. All those guys.
Mark McGwire got the rookie home run record. I still think he has it, and he was about 50 pounds lighter than when he.
But that's what I'm saying. Like all those guys that they're saying can't get in the Hall of Fame or whatever. They're all these guys that are like, oh yeah, they used. I go, okay, yes, they did later in their careers to, prolong their careers and to help them heal. A lot of them did it to help themselves heal in the off seasons too. To do their regimens.
Yeah, so
but I mean, without it, like baseball was dead, man.
They saved baseball.
They saved it, and now they're being and first of all, it wasn't illegal. It was not illegal, and people keep fighting me that don't know, who weren't watching at that time. I'm like, go back. It was not illegal. I'm like, it didn't become illegal till after they did it. And really, some of those guys, the only reason that they're not getting in the Hall of Fame is because they lied to fucking Congress. It's not because they did PEDs. It's because they fucking lied. Yep. That's it.
It's ridiculous, and it's also ridiculous that they're not allowed. Oh, they lied to a politician, so they don't get to be in the Hall of Fame. And I don't care who lies to a politician,
dude. And the baseball Hall of Fame writers, these baseball writers that get to vote all these Hall of Famers in, they're like the sanctity of the sport. I'm like, really? Oh well, Ty Cobb was a racist. There was plenty of them that were racists. Plenty of them that were wife beaters. There were plenty of them that were drunks. There were plenty of them who did drugs back in the day. In the 70s, you know how many did cocaine before their games? I mean, in the Atlanta Braves, Darrell Evans, he'd even tell you. Darrell Evans was like, man, we'd sit there and blow lines of coke, tons of it, before they'd go out and play the game in the clubhouse.
Darryl Strawberry.
Yes.
Darryl Strawberry was fucking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and these, and I'd hear these stories, and I'm like, yeah, okay, well, all right. Do you think that's not enhancing their performance? Going out all coked up, you know?
After smacking the old lady around.
Yeah, I mean, these guys like, oh yeah, they beat their wives and kids or got in a fight. I mean, dude, Mickey Mantle would go out and just get fucked up every night. Would sleep with anything and everything.
Yeah, I didn't know he was a womanizer. I know he was definitely a drunk. But he probably was a womanizer, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And yet, I mean, like they talk about like, oh, he was so great. Okay, he was a great baseball player. What kind of human being was he? Because that's what they're not looking at, like how great McGuire, Clemens, these baseball writers, they're not looking at how great of a athlete. They're looking at how they lied. They're not good human beings. That's exactly how they're looking at it by not putting him in.
Yeah, I don't like any kind of mob rule of any sort.
Yeah.
Whether it's online, where it's woke people, or whether it's Puritan people trying to, like, the sanctity of the game. And I don't want to hear it. Things change. Things are different. The whole point of sports has been cheating since the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to cheat to win.
They find ways to cut corners because they're all great at that level. When they all make it to the pros, they're all super athletic and gifted. So then it's about like tactics and who can
I like
work the system.
I like to point out, like,
I'm not advocating cheating, but I guess I am.
It was several years ago, in football, they were like all of a sudden, like, because it was during a big playoff game or something. I don't remember exactly where it started, but like they would ice the kicker. Ice the kicker became a big thing for him, ice him, call the timeout right as he's kicking it, make him kick it again. It was like game-winning thing. And I'm like, it's been going on forever. But all of a sudden, like, people are writing, oh, that seems like it should be cheating. Why?
Yeah,
the rule book says you can call timeout when you want.
Yeah. It's like somebody got pissed that I think it was Greg Schiano was coaching Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And when they were down, they had no time left and somebody was down in the ball. It does not state that you can't rush the passer. So he said, rush him. Try to get the ball loose when he downed the ball. And they're like, oh, my God, that's cheating. That's illegal. No, it's not.
Nope. Knowing the rule book and using the rules to your advantage is not cheating.
No, and that was another thing Belichick did with he had Doug Flutie drop kick the point after.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
All of a sudden, they're like, oh, you can't do that. And then they changed it. And then there's another rule that he used a couple of years ago, something to do with an extra lineman. And they changed it the next year. They voted it right out.
Yeah. See, now there's another one in football. Oh, but before I get to that, real quick, the rookie home run record has been broken twice in the last 3 years.
Oh, has it really?
Okay.
Aaron Judge broke it in 2017.
Oh, probably
with 52, and then Pete Alonso broke it this current year.
Okay.
Didn't McGuire have 49?
49, yeah.
Yeah.
But his stood for 30 years.
Yeah, it did. Yep. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about. Yeah, Aaron Judge did.
And then, but Aaron Judge. Well, actually, they both make sense because all Pete Alonso does is hit home runs.
Yeah.
He's just a big guy.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge is the biggest guy, 6'7" and like 270 or something. Huge.
Damn.
I made. I mean,
but what was I saying about football though? Oh, there's a rule where on the kickoff, where the ball's bouncing towards the goal line, and if your foot is out of bounds and you touch the ball, you get the ball at the 40-yard line. Because Green Bay took advantage of it twice.
yes.
Randall Cobb, what he did was lay down, put his foot out of bounds, and then touched the ball.
Yep.
And they got the ball at the 40-yard line. And I think they've done away with that now, too. 'Cause he
Yeah.
used it twice.
Yeah.
And then somebody else used it a few weeks later.
Yeah.
I don't understand the rule.
And okay, if like
Because technically you're out of bounds and you're the first one touching the ball is out of bounds. They kicked it out of bounds intentionally at that point. You get the ball at the 40.
Yeah, and there was one that John Harbaugh did a few years ago that people were like blowing up over, and they changed the rule. And I'm like, okay, all right, if they realized, okay, yeah, we know what, we didn't even think that somebody would do this. Okay, yeah, that's really an unfair advantage. Okay, we'll rule to change that. We'll vote to change that. But to change it just because, people didn't like it.
It looks like cheating.
It looks like
the
cheating.
point
Seems
is-
like it's a cheat.
These are all spectator sports.
Right.
They're all there for people to spectate because they enjoy watching it. It's
Right.
to bring in ratings, it's bring in money.
Absolutely.
Performance-enhancing drugs aren't hurting that.
No.
They're helping that
No.
because you're getting the very best who are at their very healthiest or very best at that point because of this stuff. That's what it's about. PEDs shouldn't be illegal.
I agree. And here, another thing with football too is the being able to challenge pass interference. Even though I've seen so many called that shouldn't have been called,
It shouldn't be reviewable.
No.
I don't. I
Done.
agree with you. I agree with you
pass
completely.
interference is pass interference. I think that the rule itself should be straightforward because there's really no straightforward
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
But it's either this way or it's this way. It's not, well, it could be. No.
I don't
You
think
either
that should be
cut and
reviewable.
dry. It's this way and this way or nothing, but it not reviewable.
But the first time I saw a guy just admit that he was on steroids, because it was like not long after the Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire thing.
Yeah.
Because remember the World's Strongest Man contest?
Yeah.
And someone asked one of the dudes, I forgot which one it was, one of those big, huge guys, they're like, so do you use steroids to get big? He goes, of course I do.
Yeah.
He goes, I wouldn't be this big and strong if I didn't.
Yeah.
He goes, it's a tool. He goes, it's a tool to do this.
Yeah.
He goes, if I didn't do this, then someone else would have my slot, and I would be known. You wouldn't know my name.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think I could pull 6 semis?
I don't know. Could you throw a keg over a wall with no steroids?
I'm 6'7", but instead of being 400, I would be about 280, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be working a bar
not
as a
natural.
bouncer somewhere, but I wouldn't be the strongest man in the fucking world.
Right.
I need steroids.
Yes.
I understand. People want to see clean athletes and want to see people at the top of their game without it.
Do they really?
A lot of people do. I don't understand it.
I don't.
I want to see the best of the best doing whatever it takes to be the best.
That's what competitive professional sports are. The best of the best, right?
Yeah.
The
rules are there for a certain reason. I understand there's rules.
Yeah.
But as far as PEDs, they're not hurting anybody. They may be hurting their bodies in the long run, but
that's their
what they want to do.
Yeah, that's their thing, man. I don't care.
I have two more quick rule things. Well, first one's a rule thing with baseball.
Got another hour.
With baseball. I didn't know if we were doing Discord or not.
Yeah.
They haven't. None of the guys have signed on. So.
Okay.
But we're good.
So, baseball. People that complain about the rules. You've heard of the shift
Yeah.
in baseball, which to me is a tactic that you use in baseball. It's a strategy, which is baseball has argue whether or not it's the smartest sport. I think it's the smartest sport you could possibly play.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different variables.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
high IQ game.
Yes.
But the shift is a strategy you use in that game, which is what baseball is all about. The fact that they're talking about outlawing the shift drives me fucking nuts.
Oh God.
It's part of the game.
Yeah.
You know what? If someone is playing the shift against you because you hit to the same spot all the time, learn to hit different.
Right.
Improve your game. Learn to hit to the opposite field. That's what it's about. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to constantly grow in the game. And secondly, is Jeff listening? Is he still in here?
No, he's not.
Oh, dang it. That ruins everything. Because I was going to say Pete Rose should still be out of the game. Sorry.
Oh, absolutely.
Because gambling on the
Gambling has been illegal in baseball since the beginning, since Common Era.
You can gamble on whatever you want.
Yeah.
Just as long as you're not gambling on what you're doing that you can affect the outcome of.
It states it in every clubhouse. It's posted. Every clubhouse since the beginning of Common Era baseball. So sorry to all you Pete Rose lovers out there. I love Pete Rose too. I watched him play. He was a great player, but he literally violated the action. This is actually violating the sanctity of the game. They literally put it in every clubhouse to prevent it, and he did it anyway.
I'm biased because we're from Detroit. Ty Cobb's the greatest hitter ever.
Yeah.
Pete Rose is second.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But, yeah.
Because Ted Williams is really awesome too.
Yeah.
But I don't care. Pete Rose cheated.
Yeah.
I don't care if you can't prove that he affected the outcome of the game. The point is, you will never know, and you can't prove that he did or did not. He stays out of the game.
I think just hearing from there was enough people and enough evidence to know that he
Clemson just beat Ohio State.
Yes. He bet against his team. He bet against his team. I know he did. There's actual evidence, please. There were enough people who knew what he was doing that have stated it. So sorry, that was and the biggest problem is he's such a cock about it.
I didn't bet on baseball.
Oh, they got hosed.
Well, then finally going, yeah, you know what? I'll admit that I gambled. I bet,
okay.
But I didn't do it against my team.
Okay, guys, I gotta say this because let's watch the clip. But I hate Ohio State.
Good.
I've said that before, right? You guys heard me say that.
Yes.
They got hosed.
Good.
They got hosed.
Good.
Because the Clemson receiver caught the ball, brought it down, tucked it in, started to move. The ball was knocked away. Ohio State guy picked up, ran it back for a touchdown, and they called it an incomplete pass.
Good.
I can't say that I care.
He caught it.
I can't either.
He called it and pulled it in and made a football move.
Okay, it's unfair. It sucks. They got hosed.
But I don't care.
I don't care.
Because I think it's going to be a better game, Clemson versus
exactly
LSU.
Plus, I hate Ohio State.
Because fuck Ohio State.
Yeah, right. So
I don't know if I've said that before. So Phil's not even in here?
No.
Man, I want to know if the Red Wings won. I guess I'll have to look it up myself. He's such a big Red Wings fan.
Yep.
They were losing.
Yeah, it's a kind of a bad time for Detroit sports right now.
Dude, we're horrible.
You know what?
All sports.
This is the thing. It's like, and I hear like people at work and people talking about like, oh, it's and it is a bad time for Detroit sports. It's a very bad time for sports in this city. And we've had a lot of great times.
Yeah.
Okay. And I, for one, have been through multitudes of this. Multiple times I've been through good times in sports and bad times in sports.
It's like that song.
And
good
all these
times,
people, the ones that really get me are the people who've got the nerve, who clearly are not like big time hockey people. And I'm like, you're not a big time hockey person,
not at all.
But you know as well as I do that for 25 years we watched some of the best hockey. The Red Wings were one of the best teams.
For many years. Yeah.
For many, many years. 25 years straight in the playoffs.
That's why I'm angry that, of course, it was the sport that I didn't care about. That was the only one that we were consistently good at around here.
And so at this point, like, they're like, oh, well, the rebuild's taking forever. Well, you know what? Hey.
Is it, though?
It's not, because
this is year 4?
Here's the problem. The biggest problem is we didn't bring somebody in to handle it. We let Kenny Holland handle it.
No, this is year 3 because
this
the
is
first
year
year
3.
Blashill went to the playoffs.
Yeah, this is year 3. And we let Kenny Holland keep doing his stupid thing, which was overpaying the guys who kept playing for us because, hey, we got to be loyal to them.
No.
Now we got guys with $7 million a year contracts who are 38 years old and can't play anymore.
Well, we don't anymore.
Well,
They're off the books
now, but
our
now we finally got somebody who is going to change the, plus his drafting techniques were not that good.
No.
I mean, yes, we got, some good players here, but really, I didn't like much of his drafts.
It's all about analytics now, and they weren't an analytics heavy team.
No.
They will be now.
And
that's
the
what the
people that
Tigers
are
are doing too.
Right now, a lot of people are calling for Blashl's head. Okay, you know what? Get rid of him. Who you can get?
That's the thing. Blashl's there through this season, no matter what.
There's some good guys out there that there's some good old school coaches. There's some good, really good coaches out there that'll come in and be a good coach. But one thing they got to remember: this team's super young and it's getting younger.
They are, except for the guys they have that are old.
But they're going to be gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least one of them.
I mean, you got
Green will be gone.
But I mean, you got Larkin, you got Mantha, you got all these guys that you're going to be building around.
It doesn't help that Mantha's out for a month again.
No, but I mean, I'm saying that they're drafting for the future.
Yeah,
they're not going out and getting free agents.
No,
they're not. Steve Yzerman is not going to go, all right, we're going to get Peter DeBoer or whatever his name, the one that just got fired, and bring him in. He is a winning coach. You're not going to bring him in and go, okay, we're going to sign a bunch of guys and put them up, because we're not going to do that.
No.
So, do you keep a guy who has developed at a lower level for years, because Blashill did?
Yeah.
Or do you just keep him and
no?
Or do you start?
I think Blashill is the first stage of it. After this year, Blashill.
I think because
unless they turn around, Blashill is not here this year.
I think he's gone too, because I don't think he's Yzerman's guy.
Exactly that too. Yzerman needed a stopgap for a season so he figures out who his guy is.
I think he's going to go who was the guy he had in Tampa Bay that isn't there anymore?
Cooper?
Yeah.
Oh no, Cooper's there now. John Cooper.
But they had a guy before him that
I don't know, because they've had Cooper for quite a few years now.
Oh, okay, maybe.
And him and Blashill are good friends. Cooper and Blashill.
Angelo says the Wings lost to the Panthers 4-5.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Okay.
But I think our point was more not just the Red Wings; it's as
just
a Detroit
sports. Yeah,
because
we went on this Red Wings rant, but the fact
the Tigers were last place. The Lions are in second to last place in the league.
Yeah,
last in the division. The Pistons are right now out of the playoffs.
Right.
And who am I forgetting? Red Wings suck. Yes.
Okay, but here's the thing. All right,
I don't remember when we've ever had all four teams be this bad at one time.
True. Okay, but this is what I was getting to as being a Detroit sports fan.
Yeah,
I have watched the Tigers win a World Series and been in 3, and dominated a good portion of the 2000s with some pretty good teams.
They did.
Dominated our division. I have watched the Pistons go to 4 championships and win 3, and been Eastern Conference Finals many a times.
Yeah.
I have watched the Red Wings over and over and over again win Stanley Cups and win divisions and go to the playoffs. I have watched all this over my lifetime. And so
you watched the Lions lose 3 playoff games too.
I have watched the Lions.
The Lions are.
I have watched the Lions
joke.
beat the Dallas Cowboys in 1991, and were this close to a Super Bowl and never did anything.
Yeah, I meant 3 in a row.
But I still watch the Lions because you know what? Here's my thing. They're on 16 games a season.
That's a fact. They never do more than 16.
They're on 16. Yeah. They're on 16 weeks out of my year.
It's a steady diet of 16.
I watch every year, just like the people that are like, oh well, how could you go? How could you get season tickets? And I've been telling people, I'm like, if I could do it next year, if I can get decent enough seats, I'm buying season tickets for next year. I'm going to become a season ticket holder. And they're like, why would you do that? I'm like, it's 8 games a year that I get to go to. And if I don't want to go, I can send my friends. I can go, hey, man, here's 2 tickets. Go have some fun. Yeah. Even if the game sucks, so what? You get to go downtown. You get to have a good time.
Yeah. Have a few drinks.
You are way more optimistic than I am.
It doesn't. The thing is it doesn't matter.
I don't agree with Alan either, but
it doesn't matter what the team does to me anymore. The Lions are what the Lions are. But the
culture of losing,
right?
Sucking,
but they're changing the culture.
But the atmosphere of
Megatron and Barry Sanders quit.
The thing
Couldn't take it anymore.
The thing is with the team, with the people here, the fans. You know the real fans. When you go down there, man, you see the real fans, the ones that that come to these games and they're down and they're like, if they could just do they're just passionate about it.
Yeah,
I know.
I understand. It's an event. It's a camaraderie and stuff and all that. I'm so sick of
It's something
losing.
you do. It's like going to a concert. I mean, I like to go to concerts. I don't really want to spend $175 to see 3 crappy bands when I only want to see that 4th band. But
Yeah, they should
that's
let
the
you
way
pay
it is
a la
now.
carte.
Yeah, it's the way it is now. Yeah, right. Okay. You're okay. Well, they're going on at 10:30. Okay. Well,
only
I'll be
paying
here
for
at
that band.
I'll be here at 10:30, and that's what, $60? Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
I'm
paying. There's 3 bands, and I only want to see one. I'm paying a third.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want a coupon. Also,
Speaking of 3 bands in Detroit sports, Comerica Park.
yeah.
Are you really thinking about going to that show for Motley Crue? Are you?
Oh,
Really
you were joking, right?
Oh well, the big reason I was
Jeff Leppard was it because you never saw him?
just because I've never seen them, but I don't think they're retiring. So I don't think I'm going to go pay. I don't know if somebody wanted to go, I would buy a ticket.
They're never retiring.
Now, we've brought up how bad Vince Neil is.
Yeah,
Oh, that video
on here
is so
so
bad.
many times. But I've usually only watched Take Me to the Top because that one made me laugh, so I never got past that. Take Me to the Top.
Yeah.
Like from the
That's
the
first
US
album.
Fest or Us Fest, but it was the first song. That
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But we went and watched the whole thing.
We watched
Yes,
the whole
we
thing.
did.
And the whole.
So you never get through the first song?
No, I've never made it. But whatever song it was, when he went,
Oh, that was
I had an asthma attack. I was laughing so hard.
that was like right towards the
And
end.
Vince, that was prime Vince. That was Vince when he was young, healthy. He was thin.
1983.
And he
Horrible.
still sucked.
Oh yeah.
So bad.
Now,
Yeah.
granted, their sound was awful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it was that big festival, and it was.
Your microphone is booming in my ears every time you say something. Him.
Oh,
I'm
I'm sorry.
really-
Am I keeping it too
No,
close?
I'm
no,
doing
you're
it
fine.
too, though.
Oh.
It's fine. It's fine.
For some reason, yours is carrying more. I'm sorry. Continue.
But man,
It's like, bam! I'm Alan. It's so loud.
I don't know if it's. We were debating whether it was a camera recording or a shitty board recording because it's so bad you don't know. It's like in the in between.
Oh yeah. Because even the guitars too didn't sound quite right, and then like a few times early in the show, I mean, you could hear like it was like totally like feedback. I mean, it was just like in the middle.
Yeah, there was feedback
But
at points. I was
That's
surprised.
brutal because Vince is not a live performer.
No.
And
No.
there was no reverb, no effects, just a raw voice like you would have a,
Oh,
karaoke
my God, yeah.
machine with
Yeah.
the effects off. And
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
bad that when the next video came up and it was them on like a TV show,
A TV game show.
he sounded really good. And Mike's like, "Whoa, I never thought Vince would ever sound good." It's because he was
it was
lip syncing.
it
Oh, it was a total.
his
it was a
studio
record.
shit, it was-
We watched. We watched.
Oh yeah,
them.
that's a
it
record
was
right
their
there.
studio recording.
Because you were getting the show started, and we were watching it, and I'm like looking at his mouth, and I'm like, okay, 2 more words came out after he stopped.
Yeah,
like Vince finally sounds okay.
I'm like, yeah, he's totally lip syncing.
Yeah, that
but I
was-
mean, plus they played Livewire, and I'm like, it sounds exactly like the album.
everything was the exact. Same
Yeah, it was like
song.
super perfect.
all of
Like-
a sudden, Motley Crue's Rush, where they sound just as good as
yeah,
their
right.
tape,
Yeah,
or their album rather, or their CD. I'm sorry, I said tape. Their tape.
their
Their
vinyl
tape.
Dating
record.
myself. Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
that's
that
it,
was
man.
the other thing. That was what I was going to bring up. Well, I was talking about the old people that we used to make fun of because they didn't know shit. And we thought, this lame ass old person was my old boss who was trying to act cool and would like bring in jock jams and like, yeah, this
Oh,
stuff
God.
pumps me up. I love the guy.
Jock
He-
jams?
He's my favorite boss I've ever had. This dude was like a grandpa to me. Ed was the greatest guy I've ever met. I don't want to make fun of him, but he brought in like a CD. He's like, I listen to this sometimes when I pump myself up. We put it in. It's like, y'all ready for this? I'm like, yeah, this is great. And he walked away. I'm like, off. And then we were listening to something. And he's like, yeah, my daughter, in the '80s, she was really into that heavy rock music and stuff. She was a really big fan of that band, Snow Snake. And we're like, oh yeah,
What?
Snow
White
Snake.
He called him Snow
Snow Snake. And we're like, yeah, all right. And then they paged him for a phone call. He walked away. And we're like, who the fuck is he talking about? And like 5 minutes later, I'm doing something. I'm like, Oh, White
Gotta
Snake.
be White Snake.
Snow Snake.
Snow Snake.
It's gotta be, right?
I love that guy, though. I don't want to make fun of him too much. But,
Yeah.
David Cloverdale.
oh, man, but Snow Snake. We called it that forever, too.
Snow
Years.
Snake.
He's
I'm
like-
never calling him White Snake again.
I never.
She's like,
never.
she had a jean jacket with Snow Snake on the back.
Dude, that's just like somebody would be like, "Oh yeah, oh Led Zeppelin, man, I love that dude," you know?
Yeah.
Or Pink Floyd.
Led Zeppelin's the blues guy, right?
He's that Pink dude, right?
That's
you know?
that's what happened to Alice Cooper.
Yeah, because Alice Cooper's a band.
Yeah, he went by Vince, his birth name for
Yeah.
all his, and he goes, they just kept calling me Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
And the record company and the guys, even the guys in the band, like, dude, just call it,
Yep.
call your stage name.
Yeah, Alice Cooper was the band. That was
He said, so I came home to my family, and I've been on tour and everything. I said, well, I changed my name to Alice Cooper. What's for dinner, Mom?
Yeah, right.
Because his real name is Vincent what?
Vincent Fournier.
Fournier.
Yeah, that's
Fournier.
right. Yeah, he's from here.
Yeah.
In fact, I was.
Well, he
listening-
was born here.
He lived here for a while.
He lived here for a while, but he moved out to
Phoenix.
He moved to Phoenix like before he was like grown. I thought.
before he was an adult.
I think he was still in like high school.
Yeah, because I would listen to him on CSX one time talking with Trudy or somebody. No, not Trudy. The other one. I can't think of the lady's
Because he
name.
started the band in Phoenix.
And Carlini.
Ann Carlini, probably, yeah. And he was talking about where he grew up, and he knew his address and everything. He's like, I lived at 17 blah, 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 Lincoln in East Point, or East Detroit. And he's like, I used to live down the street from the Eastland Mall, and he like all this stuff. He was, but he said his address, and I drove by that house after hearing it, and I'm like, that's a pile of shit, that house.
Well, it wasn't then.
And actually, it wasn't. It still
Years
wasn't.
of
It
wear
was
and
just,
tear.
yeah, it was. But yeah, he's another one from here. A lot of people don't realize.
Yeah, there are people like that are the people that I forget are from here, and one of them's Jack White.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I just think of him as some L.A. or New York hipster. Like, no, he's from here.
No, it's kind of funny. Like
I think he's full time Nashville, but he's here a lot
there was
Well, he
now.
Yeah,
he is,
yeah. This dude that like I was working for this bricklayer, and like his buddy who does cement work, he was doing like cement driveways and stuff, was telling me like he was like working down at some house in Indian Village. He's like, yeah, these new hipsters like come in, and they wanted a new driveway and stuff, and he was doing some cement work for him. He goes, and all of a sudden this dude walks over and he's like, hey, can you give me a card? I want to get a quote, and he goes, well, I can do a quote right now, He's like, I just want to get a pad laid in the back here. And so he walks back with him, and he just like looks at him for a minute. He goes, are you Jack White? He's like, yeah. He goes, oh, hey, all right, man. So
That's cool.
and he's like, and then it was just like, okay, okay, you're looking at this size square. Oh, yeah, it'd be like, this much. He goes, oh, when can you do it? He goes, next week. And he was like, oh, cool, dude. All right. He goes, you prefer cash? And he's like, sure.
I prefer signed guitars.
He's like, he goes, you could do, yeah, you could write me a check or whatever. He's like, I'll write you the same receipt. He's like, but if you want to give me cash, sweet,
yeah.
Because he's like,
weird.
he's like,
Almost
when
like
people
he's
pay cash, that he goes, I kind of make that stuff disappear more, not so much on the books.
It's weird. He's a famous guy, but it's almost like he's a normal person.
Right.
He's human.
He's a human.
Well, then the Motor City Madman,
Yeah.
he's from here. Not.
Yeah, he was from here, but now he's in Texas, right?
But he was from like he lived in like the Jackson area.
No, he did. He was originally actually from Redford, like Beach Daily.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's his. Like when he was in Amboy Dukes and all that.
Right.
Redford.
Right.
Yeah.
But even when he lived here, he didn't. He lived out by Jackson.
None of them live here full time anymore.
He got black mold.
Yeah, they'd tear down his whole house.
They fucking tore down his house. That's why
Him and Shemaine's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got black mold.
But I mean, like when he was a kid, like was he? I can't remember if he was born here or he moved here after he was born and then moved away again.
I think. Well, his progression was Redford, and then like Waterford area, and then somewhere further out like White Lake, and then he just further and further away from Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was here for a very long time. I don't think he ever moved away.
Now, Kid Rock, his house is easy to identify. I won't say, but there's a couple key Well, no one's ever gonna. He's got a big entrance gate with an American flag.
Yeah.
In the town north of here that he lives in. I was like, and then when someone told me, I'm like, oh, it makes sense. That's totally where he lives. I don't even need to confirm it. I know that that's where he lives.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
I could tell.
actually, Alan's right. He moved away for a while. He moved from
When he
Detroit.
was a kid.
When he was in high school, he went
Yeah.
to high school in Arlington Heights in Palatine, Illinois.
I thought he was like Chicago area
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, I thought he was Redford originally.
No, you're right. He was. He was in Redford
Yeah.
for a long time. He was raised in Detroit, and then they moved. He went to this high school in Arlington Heights, and then another one.
Because
in
that's
Palatine.
like Tim Allen, same thing. Tim Allen was like, he lived here for a while, but then he kind of was raised, though, in like Colorado.
Yeah, Boulder.
Yeah, he was raised in Colorado because like his mom remarried.
Well, he was born in Denver.
Yeah, but then he moved here. Right, he was born. He wasn't born here. He was, but he lived here when he was little.
Well, Kid Rock was originally Romeo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And his parents owned.
No,
the
man,
Ford
he's straight from
dealership.
Detroit.
The Ford dealership in Romeo.
Yeah.
His parents owned it.
yeah. I don't. They don't anymore.
No, I think that.
well, that. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, now that's his real dad or his stepdad?
Stepdad.
That's his stepdad.
And then he.
Yeah, I know Kid Rock straight up from here.
Or step.
Well, he moved. Yeah, he moved to Mount Clemens on his own, though.
Speaking of Mount Clemens, dude, I put it up. The Hayloft liquor stand, man.
They tore it down.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah, you know, when you messaged me about that,
Yeah.
we had already talked about it on Facebook, and I forgot. I never talked to you guys
We never
about it.
talk about it here. That bar was.
It was
Besides
there the day you
besides
took me to probation.
The next day it was gone.
The next day they tore it down.
Yeah.
Besides the IROC, that's probably the bar I've been in the most of any of them around here.
Okay.
Because I either played in there or had friends that played there, or they had national acts come in there.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Malevolent Creation there.
Didn't you see Macabre there?
No, I never seen Macabre.
I was joking.
Macabre always played the Shelter, didn't they? When
Yeah.
they came into town.
Yep.
Yeah.
They always played.
But yeah, it was because I took Alan to probation on Monday.
Yep.
And Tuesday they tore it down.
I am a felon.
Remember how good our sound was at the
I
Shelter?
took you to your parole officer.
I am a felon.
Remember when we played the Shelter?
Yeah.
And I told that dude he had like a big he had the stretched out ears and shit, and had that kind of, I don't know what that look is, like hardcore or whatever. And I was like, oh, this is the guy doing our sound. This is gonna suck. And then we heard on monitors. I'm like, fuck yeah!
It was the best.
I went up to that guy after the show. I'm like, dude, your fucking sound, man, you were great. He goes, I know a thing or two. I'm like, yeah, I guess you do. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some fond memories of the Hayloft.
Oh, yeah.
Some.
I'm gonna slit your throat.
Do you remember that? You were there. That was,
I was there.
You and your sister, and she wasn't with her husband. She was with the other guy.
Yeah, and then she got kicked out
Because she was fighting with him, and she punched him.
She physically attacked him.
And the bouncer, the way he grabbed her, it looked like he was copping a feel. But really, he just grabbed her to get her away from her boyfriend and get her out. Mm-hmm. And then, to me, it looked like he was grabbing chest. So I was like, if I ever see you again, I'll slit your fucking throat. And I said to a bouncer who was like, I don't know how much bigger than me.
Right.
He's about 6'8".
He was huge. But I thought he was copping a feel, and I was defensive, you know? And, yeah, that was a fun night.
Hayloft.
The Hayloft there. There's seen some good bands there.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like...
That's my whiskey.
Dude, that's like an end of an era, man. I mean...
Well, the IROC's closed, so my number 1 and number 2
now,
spots are gone.
structurally, that's still there, right? It's still...
The IROC,
Yeah.
but it's been empty.
Yeah, it's been for years, right?
Is the Golden Buddha empty?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Dude, last time I drove down there was when I first moved back here.
That
Yeah.
drink would fuck you up.
Oh, it was so beautiful. It was
I made
so
a mistake
beautiful.
of drinking 2 of them before we went on, and
I never drank the Golden Buddha.
it
I
was
only
such
drank.
a bad. We did so
Oh,
poorly.
They
dude.
had the Chinese beer there, Tsingtao, and I would get those because they were kind of like a cross between a Rolling Rock and something. You know, they were light, but they were still crisp. Not dark and crisp, but light and crisp. But I liked Tsingtao was a good beer.
Did anybody ever eat at the Golden Buddha?
I did.
I did.
It's very good.
Oh, I'm
was
pretty
very
sure.
good, wasn't
yeah,
it?
I thought Nick had a bunch of times.
For those people, that,
I think he
we
did.
We have to give context to people who are listening, if there's any. This is a place in the middle of the ghetto in Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A neighborhood you would not be walking around in at
No.
night at all.
No.
But it was a heavy metal club, which we played probably 50 times.
At least, yeah.
And then next, across the street from it, was this Chinese restaurant called the Golden Buddha. We mostly went there to get their Golden Buddha drink, which 2 of them would fuck me up bad now.
You see what I think?
Yeah, it was basically just like these giant glasses filled with like all different kinds of liquor
and they lit it on
splashed.
fire.
They took,
Yeah.
But it tasted like I could drink it right now. If it were non-alcoholic, it was so tasty that I would drink it right now.
Oh yeah, it was like fruity. It was really delicious.
You could make it a mocktail out of it.
Oh
if
yeah,
you'd
yeah.
like it.
Yeah. But next thing you knew, you're like, oh.
it was. I think they said they want to make a joke on all the white people, and they're like, we're going to put everything we have in the bar in this thing.
But then they put something fruity in it to make it taste fucking delicious.
Tastes
Or
great.
or when they lit it on fire, I don't know what that did to it, but it was delicious.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
And you could just like suck them down, and then all of a sudden you're like,
You'd
oh,
be fucked up before you knew it.
oh yeah.
And this anyway, too, the food was great. I ate there
Yep.
finally. Amazing food,
Wow, that's surprising.
but it was out of this world.
I
I
actually
miss that place.
I actually ate there and drank there before Skarnak started. We went there to see one of Bry's buddy's brother's band or something. Bloodshot. They played at Harpo's too a lot, but we went and saw them and like I remember they're like, oh, let's go over here and eat before, and I'm like, all right, cool, and we drank some of the Golden Buddhas and ate, and I remember Bry going, I ain't eating this shit. I ain't fucking eating this shit. This is the fucking ghetto, He's like, I ain't eating Chinese.
That's where you
food
get
in
some
the
of the
ghetto.
best food.
It was, yeah. I was like, oh my god, and all I had was like some almond chicken dish, and I was like, this is fantastic. And the everything was cheap and delicious, and I was like, oh my god,
And then I had a conversation with the kid that worked there.
Mm.
In every Chinese restaurant in the world, I don't care if you're fucking on some offshoot island in the Pacific, there's the parents and then the kid.
Oh yeah,
That always sits
Oh, yeah.
there.
Dude.
Well, this kid was probably about 14 or 15, and we were getting drunk, and I just struck up a conversation with him, and he spoke perfect English. He was totally Americanized, but he was real. He was a real intelligent kid, but it didn't dawn on me how superstitious Chinese people were.
Oh yeah,
When he was being dead serious, he goes, well, me and my dad, because he was telling me about his family, he goes, we have a good work ethic, but we don't get along, and the reason is, he didn't say personality. He said, well, my dad was born on the year of the dog. He was giving, they have their
yeah.
Oh
their
yeah,
horoscope, their astrological.
Their Chinese zodiac.
Yeah. And he was like, is as serious as a heart attack. He's like, he was born on this sign, and I was born under this sign,
Yep.
and we cannot possibly get along. I'm like, dude, you're like really superstitious, aren't you? I'm thinking, I didn't say it. And I'm like, it's kind of like when you have a regular conversation with someone, and then they say something super religious, and you're kind of caught off guard. Like,
Yeah.
well, I didn't expect that. It was that guy.
You just made me think of the Chinese restaurant. So, because we didn't cook anything on Christmas Day, we went to Craig's house for breakfast, but for dinner we didn't do anything. Which I don't want Mom to hear this because I told her we just ate leftovers, and I lied to her because I didn't want to come over to her house for food. But
we had cousin Kevin over.
well, we ended up ordering Chinese food because we're like, oh, it's open. Let's get some Chinese food. We haven't had it in a while.
Yeah.
And it's a local place that's been open forever, but it's been under new management for a couple of years. It's called the Pearl City.
The one over at Lil Mac?
Yeah, somebody else took it over like 2 years ago, and it's been phenomenal for the last 2 years.
Oh, because Pearl City used to be great, but I don't know how long it's been.
Oh,
since
it went
I've ate there.
downhill. It was shit. And then these guys, this young... Anyways, my point was this. You talked about they always have their kids working there. Well,
Yep.
Christmas is a busy day for them because
Yes.
nothing else is open.
Right.
So we ordered it online because they have online ordering. Said 25 minutes. We got there after 35 minutes. There was a line of people waiting for their online orders. The place was packed. They had their kid running the front counter. He's 9.
And he
So-
outworked every one of us.
So
on
our
a
food
regular work day.
our food that was supposed to be ready according to them by
Better
6,
than any Western person could run a counter.
their food that the online order claimed our food was going to be ready at 6:25. We showed up at 6:35. Our food was ready at 7:15. So from the time my wife ordered it till the time we actually got it was literally triple what it should have been.
Right.
Wow.
But they had a 9-year-old, and then he sent his brother, who was younger than him, to the back to try to tell people, hey, these people are here for their order. So they had a 9-year-old and an 8-year-old, and the parents were serving people, and they're like, oh, we had people call in, and
Yeah.
I don't care. I want my Chinese food. Let's go.
Right.
But that was the youngest person I've ever seen working anywhere, which I'm sure wasn't legal because the kid's 9.
They said you had people calling. Why are you hiring white people? Like, hire
They're like,
your own.
like
but
we
they
didn't
won't call in.
She literally said we didn't expect to be this busy, and we had somebody call off. It's like you're the only place open.
Neil and I found a Chinese place that we really like, right where Harper and Little Mac meet, down by 9 Mile.
Oh, okay.
Where there's like a Verizon there, a Jersey Mike's, like a Red Olive restaurant.
Oh, it's right by the Red Olive in the
Yeah.
same little strip. Yeah,
I think it's in the same strip.
Yeah,
It's just this little tiny place.
yeah.
It's fantastic. They stuff so much food in the container that they have to staple it. There is no way to not.
staple it.
They have to staple
What I
it.
got to do with my pants.
Here's how white I am. When my wife finally, because I was in there waiting for the food, and I got to a point where I was like, I can't fucking take this anymore. So I messaged her. I'm like, come in here, and she went in there, and I went outside and like stormed off in a huff. I was like, I can't believe this food isn't ready. And we finally got it. And I'm like, that's it. I'm signing up for Yelp so I can write them a bad review. And I actually said that out loud.
And then the food was amazing.
And I was like, then we got the food. I'm like, well, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And once I tasted the food, I can.
You're like, oh my God.
I'm like, all right, well, yeah, it's Christmas, you know.
I'm sorry. I'm
Christmas,
sorry.
I feel bad for them.
No,
Take
Angela-
all the time you need.
AJ.
After an encore of beer is good. Did you guys party at the Golden Buddha? No, we did it before, unfortunately.
Yeah, we would
And
do
the show
it
would
before
suck.
we did shows.
Yes.
Jeff from Hillbilly Havoc, by the way. Check out Hillbilly Havoc.
Is Jeff
Good
back
friends
in
of
here?
ours.
Jeff.
Our local Chinese restaurant hires Mexicans to work for them.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Well, yeah, you'll still be. You won't get the call in. That's the thing.
Right.
Yeah. So Jeff is back in the room. So he missed the whole thing where I told him that Pete Rose being out of baseball is the way it should be.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I said, Jeff. I believe Pete Rose should be kept out of the game of baseball and the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I didn't bet on baseball.
Sure
did.
you didn't, Pete.
Sure.
I didn't bet.
Sure. That's not
Yeah.
what Paul Giamatti's dad told
I did
me.
not have sex with a woman.
Paul Giamatti's dad told you.
Wasn't Bart Giamatti the commissioner at the time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's his dad or his uncle or something. I don't know.
yeah. That the golden.
WNBC. That's
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti. That's my imitation of him.
It was just like him, man.
I just always think pig vomit.
Jeff said.
What was that movie
Jeff
when he was?
said, "I respect your opinion, but you're wrong."
Well, I mean, can you prove that he didn't cheat or didn't gamble on himself? No. Well, there you go.
Sorry, it's been a rule since the beginning of time.
Yeah, I didn't bet on baseball though. He said he didn't.
It
So,
said it.
so yeah, his dad was the commissioner. He ruled on the Pete Rose thing, and then he died. He was only commissioner for 5 months.
He got so stressed out, he
Probably.
had a heart attack.
I just, yeah, like Paul Giamatti was in that movie. They called him Pig Vomit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Safe Men. Right? Steve Zahn. Sam Rockwell.
Wait, what was his name in Private Parts?
Private Parts. Yeah, it was Howard Stern.
That was Pig Vomit. Was Private Parts.
Yeah, it was the Howard Stern.
Right,
He's the
That's
program
right.
director.
Right. But he was in that movie Safe Men, and they called him something in that too. And I always mix that up. Pig Vomit's Private Parts, right?
Yeah.
Jeff, you didn't listen. Jeff's like, but they can let steroid users. And Jeff, we're
Yes.
pro steroids.
Yes.
Yeah.
They can.
We are pro steroids.
Here's the reason why. Steroids were not illegal when McGuire, Bonds, Clemens, and all those guys. The only reason they're not in is because they lied to Congress.
And
and lying to a politician
and lying
you
to-
should get-
and
you should
lying
get your
to a
own
politician.
statue if you do that.
Yeah.
Pete Rose was not only playing but also managing at a time.
Exactly.
He could make changes to affect the actual outcome of a game.
And it stated from the beginning of Common Era baseball, every single clubhouse, if you bet on the game of baseball, you are banished for life. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. It's over.
And the players who are taking the steroids, the point of the game is to be the best at what
Best.
you do.
You're the best.
They're
around.
not. The steroids aren't making them great baseball players. They're already great baseball players.
They're just
and the
enhancing.
steroids are enhancing
I see
them.
nothing wrong with them.
They're just enhancing the performance.
You want to talk about someone getting wronged, though?
Pete Rose
When they took all Jim Thorpe's medals because he played he played for baseball.
He
for
made like
$25.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
We're gonna take your medals from you.
You want to hear some interesting shit? You know that
he had a drinking problem.
Well, he had yeah. But where he's buried?
Indian?
Do you know where he's buried?
Yeah, Jim Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, right? Do you know how he got there?
No.
They stole his body from his grave in Oklahoma in the middle of the night. One of his estranged sons, who had a deal with the town of Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, stole his body in the middle of the night. And because it's reservation land, and obviously they all live in a reservation.
Don't they have to scalp all the people in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania?
The government basically
can't
just
fuck with Indian land.
There was no trial. There was no hearing. They basically just
Because
said,
they got him onto Indian soil
yeah, well,
or onto reservation property, so they couldn't do anything to him.
well, no, they could have.
Oh.
They could have done something, but because people still didn't look upon Native Americans favorably,
Right.
Some people, and whoever was in charge of the commission said, "No, we don't need a hearing." His son said that this is where he should be in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, and because they paid him like $30,000 for the body, basically.
Wow.
Back then,
that's a shitty son.
Yeah.
I don't know that Ted Williams' son was a pretty dirtbag too.
Hey, he
Yeah.
was just looking out for his. Oh yeah,
Fucking cried. He cryogenically froze his father to try to make money off his fucking DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my dad had such good hand-eye coordination.
You know what?
Didn't he originally try saying that that's what his dad wanted, though? Wasn't that was what?
There was a bunch of
But that was initially. He was like, "Oh yeah, that's what he wanted," and then come to find out, no, I don't really think that's what your dad wanted.
Yeah, the rest of the family is like, well, I talk to him every day, and I don't think
Yeah,
he ever
right,
said that.
right. I don't ever remember that, but
then Ted Williams' son was not a John Glenn, the pilot and the NASA guy. Said
Yes.
that Ted Williams was the best pilot he ever saw too.
yeah,
And he only flew when he got a chance,
Yeah, right.
They let him go to war or whatever, and he went to war twice during his career.
yeah.
Yeah,
and he still had
ended
all
up-
them sick numbers.
Did it
No,
like
what a freak
that?
Ted Williams.
Well,
was.
like he did. What was the book he did about hitting? They're like, dude, it's the most accurate book still to this day. Like hitting, he like had it all down, like how to hit.
Yep.
Like if you read the book, like pretty much anybody who's got any kind of power can hit. Like if they just read that book, they'll be a great hitter.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what people say.
You don't even
about
need
it.
his steroids. You just need that
Yeah.
book.
But there was stories of him like looking at the first base line. He said, "Oh, that line's off," and they would go measure it, and it was like a quarter inch.
Oh, his
off.
eyesight
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
And, well, John Glenn said Ted Williams saw things that no one else saw, like during war.
Yeah.
We're like, "Oh God, we gotta watch out here." He's like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?" Oh shit, he's right. So imagine being such a good pilot that astronauts are like, "Hey, he's better than me."
Yeah.
Fucking dude was amazing. And
What did John
he was
Glenn
in the
ever
Hall
do?
of Fame for like a couple different things. Like he played other offshoot sports
Mm-hmm.
and the Fisherman's Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
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 Just everything he did, he was just great at it.
Yep.
Probably had a foot long dick. Who knows? Probably had it all.
Probably.
He's like
He had a temper.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He was.
He tried to fight people in the stands.
He was kind of an asshole, actually. At times, I mean.
After he left baseball and started
So
getting a little
what?
older,
Yeah, right.
once he started fishing more, he actually calmed down a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, they were a lot of them guys were red ass. You know who they say is a complete asshole, and I know someone that had direct contact with him. Remember Kent?
Yes.
This is the second week in a row we've brought up Kent.
Yeah, the giant pitcher Randy Johnson, the 6'10" guy.
I believe
They said
that.
he's a fucking asshole.
I believe that. I heard some story about like, him and Alice Cooper got that restaurant together in Arizona, or they used to. I heard some story about a person that was from here, and it was somebody that I knew. It was like their relative went there, and he happened to be there, and like there was hardly anybody in the restaurant yet, and he was like trying to talk to him, and he couldn't have been more of a fucking dick. And he's like, well, and basically just said, fuck you. I'm not even going to order food from your fucking shitty place. He was so pissed off the way he acted towards him, you know?
Yeah, he's an extreme asshole, supposedly.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Did you know that Ted Williams is Mexican?
Was he?
A lot of people don't know that. His mom was half Mexican.
So he's a quarter.
So he's a quarter.
But he was a fucking amazing hitter.
Yeah.
He's Mexican.
So,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm
Well,
biased.
yeah, he's Mexican.
I think Ty Cobb is the best hitter ever because I'm biased. But in terms of average power, speed, everything, outfield, Ted Williams might be the best player ever lived.
I think Ted Williams is the best player. That
Like I said,
ever-
I am biased, so I think just Ty Cobb because I want a Detroit Tiger to be number one.
If you factored like
Average
everyone's
wise,
like, it was between him and Joe DiMaggio played for New York. He was in a bigger market. He wasn't anywhere near the player that Ted Williams
and you know
was.
what you know what he had that Ted Williams didn't have? People hitting around him.
Yeah.
Protection. There's a reason they bat people in the spots they're in.
Yes.
You got a 2, 3, and a 4 guy because if you get through 3, you got to go to 4, and people don't want to pitch around people. Williams didn't have that for a long time in Boston.
No.
Yeah, I don't know him. Like my grandpa, he saw like a lot of great players.
Yeah,
and like he's like my number 1 and number 2. He goes that I saw. He goes is it's between Ted Williams and Willie Mays. He goes one of them two.
Yeah,
Willie Mays.
I mean, but to me, Ted Williams is probably the best player, like overall, in my opinion. But it is hard to say with Ty Cobb. I mean,
he's the best average hitter in terms of.
Well, yeah,
average.
and I mean, he came up and there wasn't the home run didn't exist at that point.
And when it did, he led the league one year with 9 home runs, and
The
they were
ball
all
was like flat.
They were all inside the park home runs.
Yeah, and
They
he
changed the ball.
hated the whole thing. He hated like
yeah. And
he
you know-
didn't support
thought,
it like
he thought
knocking
home
it
runs
out.
took the science out of the
He
game.
did.
Yeah.
But you know what else he hated? Blacks.
Yeah, it's true. And he used to shave. I mean, look, he used to
Which is
shave his
wrong, by
cleats
the way.
into points.
And he was just a evil, like a really mean person in
Yeah.
general. He treated other players around him bad.
Yeah.
He attacked fans.
Yeah,
Yeah, but when it came to like charities and stuff, he was very, very generous. It was just for some
Well, and he
reason,
did- I mean-
adult humans he didn't like.
yeah.
Kids he was fine with.
He didn't make and I mean, the guy was super thrifty, and he made a ton of money outside of baseball. He didn't make
Coca-Cola.
He made all his millions later.
At one point, he was the largest personal stockholder of Coca-Cola.
right.
And he sold a lot of it off. And then when he died, obviously, a lot of it got donated back to hospitals and stuff.
Yeah.
So he was a very generous man if you weren't of a different color and an adult.
Right.
Yeah, you ever see pictures of him when he was playing? He looked 50 then.
Yeah,
He always looked old.
I know.
He looked old.
I'm
old,
not
yeah.
joking. They showed a picture of him his first year in professional ball, not with the Tigers, but he's still in Georgia playing for the Royston something, Rousters. I don't know. Let's make up a name.
Yeah.
He was 17, and he looked fucking 40.
Well, because like if you all right,
Probably smoked.
he,
drank like crazy already.
Definitely drank.
what's his name? It was Tommy Lee Jones that played him in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
When he was like 55.
didn't really look like him at all. I mean,
No.
Looked like a middle-aged white guy.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
When he became old Ty Cobb,
I mean,
it worked perfectly.
But I mean, like a lot of guys, like a lot of these when actors play a specific guy in a movie, they kind of resemble him a little. I mean, like Will Smith, they made him look like Muhammad Ali when he played Ali.
And my problem with the movie is that it's based on one book, and
Right.
Al, I can't remember his last name, but I think you've read the book, the biography
Al
of Ty
Stump or something.
Al Stump, where it didn't, even in the book, it barely talked about his charitable work or anything. It just but actually it was
just
fantastic.
talk about him being a dick.
But see, the thing is, I'm fine with people like being evil and mean because certain people like him, it's easy to go after him because modern times and racism
Yeah.
and stuff. But then there's people that always got pass. Michael Jordan was horrible. To
Yeah.
his teammates.
Yeah.
And like a really mean to people.
Yeah.
And some people just like get a pass, and other people don't. I mean,
No, and I do. It's
funny how they pick. My point is how they pick who's an asshole and who isn't. And
Yeah.
Right.
Muhammad Ali was a womanizer, but everyone still loved him. But then it was wrong for this guy to be a woman. It's like It depends on like the press picks who they like and who they don't.
Right. You're
Oh,
right.
that's exactly right.
You know,
yeah.
it's like, but so I'm fine with them. Like even John Jones, you know how he's like always in trouble and cheats and everything. There's a part of me deep down that likes John Jones because I like people that aren't nice doing bad things.
You know what? You know what? You said
It's like certain people are just like, all right, I expect you to be this way. So
I don't know where this came from, but you said John Jones, and I immediately thought of Jim Jones, Jonestown. I'm like,
oh no!
I was like, for some reason, I'm like, wait, you're not about to defend. Oh, you're talking about the fighter.
Yeah,
I went to Jonestown.
He had to get his people out of that situation.
Yeah,
and that bitter Kool-Aid that tasted like medicine.
Tastes a little funny.
Yeah,
But you're right. Yeah, John Jones.
he
is
was
an ass.
saving them.
yeah. He was saved. Well, the funny thing was, his paranoia led to that whole thing. It started because they shot that senator or the congressman.
Yeah,
that went there.
Yeah.
And the thing was, he thought that they were coming for him and raiding and everything. Had he not shot that congressman, they had the itinerary. They talk about the meeting. They weren't going to go there and raid and everything. They just wanted to see how the kids were doing.
Yeah.
And because they were healthy, nobody would have done anything. But he freaked out, sent his goons. They shot the congressman, the guards that were watching him, and just fucking. He got overly paranoid, and then a bunch of them drank Kool-Aid.
There you go. Drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like 900 or something?
It was a ridiculously high number.
It was
They have the audio from it, and it's horrific.
Yeah.
Well,
I've heard
Because
it.
he's doing a sermon, so the mic's picking it up. I don't know why it was recorded or.
And
who
you
did
could
it.
hear people dying.
And you can hear
like,
him go,
Yeah.
you know, and the kids.
Yeah.
Crying
I've
and-
heard. Never mind. I was going to make a bad porn joke,
It was like a porn.
yeah.
but the
Like
And then
gagging
and
or
then
something.
You hear this one woman, just drink it. It's just bitter. It's just bitter. It ain't bad.
the Phoenix family,
fucked up,
you know,
man.
River Phoenix and Joaquin and them, they were part of his cult, but it was well before they even left the country, you know.
Yeah,
and then they went to another cult in South
because
America.
because like none of those kids were even born at that point. Or one of them, maybe River. Because
Well,
River's
the
mom.
parents might have been involved. Maybe they weren't.
Right, but no, the kids.
Well, I mean, Joaquin is born in the mid-'70s.
Well,
He's only a couple years younger than River.
The thing is,
Yeah, so probably the boys are probably
Yeah.
old enough to.
But my point
but they
is,
had to be real.
they
little.
were with Jim Jones, but it was way before Jonestown. And then they went on to some other cult and then a commune.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
they all got hippie names.
Yeah, they're all weirdos.
yeah, they had they had a.
There's actual pictures of them in bunk beds in one of these communes and stuff.
Then there was that cult in like the '90s where the black woman from Star Trek, her brother killed himself because he thought the UFO was going to come.
The Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate, yeah.
Yeah, Nichelle Nichols.
Yeah.
Her brother, and like that's a thing I don't get. Like even if someone's selling you a line and you're into it, the moment they say, okay, you have to castrate yourself because only I get the women in the group, I'm like, whoa, that's when I've done it. This is a cult.
Plus, we
Like,
need all your money. Like,
yeah.
we're leaving this earth. We're leaving this realm. Why do you need my money?
It's like what's the Warren Jeffs, the dude that had the FLDS, the fundamentalist Mormons, you know, and he would like basically when the guys would get a certain age, he'd be like, get going, get out of here, because they were going to start taking his women.
Smart.
You know, so they'd be like 15 years old.
you
Goodbye.
You got to get rid of the competition.
Yeah.
Eliminate the competition.
Well, part of the reason there was so much backlash against Scientology, one of the guys snapped because part of their rules is if you're insubordinate or you don't do whatever, that people beat the fuck out of you or your kids or whoever. And one guy, one of the higher ups in their church, was beating his son up because it was part of their punishment, and he fucking snapped. Like he that's what snapped him out of his trance.
Yeah.
Someone else assaulting his child, and then he beat the fuck out of the guy that outranked him, and then somehow that made him like an apostate, or they kicked him out, and then he took his family and got out.
Yeah.
And then he was one of the people, you know, that wrote the book that shit on him.
Yeah.
You know, and
then what's her name from?
yeah, she was involved with
Leah
that
Remini.
book.
Yeah.
Is one of the guys.
There's
she
another
talked
guy
to.
who's on Chicago PD, another TV show, Jason Behe or something like that. He was also part of it. And he was part of that Scientology documentary that was on HBO, and he shit all over him too.
Yeah.
So
And I even seen that happen. You know that show Gangland or whatever, where they profile different gangs.
Yeah.
The Vice show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Vice. The one that was on TV, like
Gangland.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
badass.
the Hell's Angels, the most
Yeah.
fearsome. Anyways,
Yeah.
it was a biker gang.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't remember what gang it was. The same thing happened. The thing is, like, you had to, have a creed of like, we matter more than your own family.
Yeah, like 1%ers and
Yeah,
shit too.
Yeah, and he was one of their tough guys, but some guy in their biker, like he was like our age, like in his 40s, but still a pretty tough guy. And he had a son that wasn't in the gang, but was just hanging out. And the son did something harmless, like, made an off-color joke to one of the brothers, or one of the guys, and the guy beat up his son, and he beat the fuck out of the guy for touching his son. And then they kicked him out because, the fan, and he goes, I didn't give a fuck. He goes, my actual family comes before any of these motherfuckers. Fuck
Yeah.
them,
That's
and someone was beating up my son. He goes, and then I learned, and then they all started tattling on each other once, the FBI started coming in. He goes, and it doesn't matter what gang they could be MS-13, Hell's Angels, Asian gangs, all this shit about brotherhood and all that goes out the window. They all end up turning on each other, and so I guess kids, if you're thinking about joining a gang, they're going to turn on you anyway. So don't do it.
I remember when that Gangland when the episodes were new, when it was first aired, and I was out in Utah, and Bri calls me. He's like, "Dude, I just watched that. You ever watch that show, that Gangland show?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Did you watch the newest one?" I'm like, "Not yet. I got it recorded." He's like, "Dude, it's about this gang, about the Tongan gangs in Salt Lake City." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I've heard some." He goes, "Dude, they scare the shit out of me."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "They scare the shit out of you?" He goes, "Yeah, dude, when I come out and visit you, we're not going to like Salt Lake City, are we?" I go, "Oh, dude, what are you talking about? It's like where they're at is like," he goes, "Dude, they're scary." And then I watched it and I'm like, holy shit. Like, they were like if they even thought that you might be a traitor, like they didn't even need proof. If they beheaded you and left you in front of your mom's house and shit.
So you don't bother the Tongan gang.
No. So,
do not mess with the Tongans.
he's like, "Dude, those people are crazy." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, guess what? They're not really anywhere near where I'd be taking you or anywhere near I live."
Not so much with the beheadings, but as far as the gang or the religion comes first, Jehovah's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
dude.
boy.
Nuts.
I'm not going to single anybody out, but, if, let's say you're a mom and you're in the Jehovah religion and your son, who is no longer in that religion, gets married, his wife gets pregnant, unless they're part of the religion, you can't, hang out with them.
You can't attend anything.
Nothing.
Well,
So
that's what Mom's friend went through.
Yeah.
Vicky.
Yeah, that's right.
With all that shit with her husband.
You can't have anything to do with them. Even though if you have a brand new grandkid, you can't go see that grandkid because the parents aren't part of the religion that you're in.
Yeah, she went through all that shit because her husband became Jehovah, got almost all the kids or most of the kids converted, and then they just basically they didn't do anything with her.
Yeah,
and they treat her like shit all the time.
Because I used to hear that, and people would say, "No, that's not the way it is for real."
Yeah, right.
No, it
That's absolutely
is
for real. Well, I mean, Mark, that owns Quickie, that's where he grew up. He grew up Jehovah.
Yeah.
So people they would all go, "Man, I tried to get a hold of Mark for Christmas, man. He went to Florida. He don't even send Merry Christmases back." I go, "Because he doesn't celebrate." And they're like, "What?" I go, "Well, I knew he was Jehovah." I go, "No, he never celebrated. So why would he start celebrating it at 40-something years old, 30-something years old? I mean, he got out when he was young, but he never celebrated. Why, it wasn't ingrained in him. Christmas was nothing to him,
Yeah.
So he never celebrated.
Well, we used to have. I know we're probably running up the time, aren't we?
Close.
But we had we have a friend who's he was the drummer in the band with Craig and them, Eric. You know Eric.
Yeah.
His mom and stepdad were, and he was living in their house, and he didn't practice. And his older brother, who lived out of state, had a new kid and stuff, and mom, he would try calling mom, say, "Hey, there's a grandkid," and she had nothing to do with them. And then when they were going to move, he was living in their house, and he was renting from them. He was giving them money, and they're like, all of a sudden one day they're like, "Oh, we sold the house. We're moving tomorrow. You need to find a place to live."
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember when that happened.
It's like they didn't care. His mom's like, "Well, I can't really help you out," and his stepdad wouldn't even talk to him. So,
wow,
yeah, it's
bend the knee.
Bend the knee.
Bend the knee.
Oh, I thought you were saying Ben was here.
No, I meant bend the knee.
Wow.
But yeah,
have we really been going for almost 3 hours?
Almost 3. We didn't even do a break.
12:56.
But I didn't. I thought about doing a break, but like we kept getting into stuff where we're talking really well. Well, there was no dead period.
That was a content rich episode.
Yeah, we had a good episode. I didn't need to stop it. I didn't need to.
At one point, we were talking about athletes, and John Jones was what you were talking about.
Yeah,
and
I changed the subject.
And then all of a sudden, Jonestown, and then we just went into like Scientology, Jehovah's, all of this.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but John Jones is a Scientologist Jehovah.
Yeah,
so
he's everything. All at once.
Who actually was part of Jonestown but got away.
Hence the name.
No.
All right, I'm going to end it because I remember this timer when it gets close. It doesn't
cuts
actually
off.
go all the way.
No.
So
can you give me one quick favor?
Yeah.
Can you play the fatty?
Yeah.
Hey, fatty!
Thank you.
Hey, fatty!
Thank you.
Twice.
I needed it in me.
Thanks for sending me to my grave with AIDS. Yeah. All right, so we are Radio Underground. Follow us on all social media. Like and subscribe to us.
Please subscribe.
Radio Underground. There are no fakes that we know of. So if it has us in it, it's us.
Who would rip us off?
Yeah, no one.
Oh my God, we got 50 subscribers.
Damn it. I wanted to be the 50th.
Oh, we did it. All right, guys.
I want to be the 51st.
The 51. You're Puerto Rican.
Recorded in the pits of Detroit, Michigan. Your ass is listening to